morning. Hello, hello. A little crooked. I think it's okay. Hello, friends. Happy Saturday. I have a little visitor with me. Well, not a visitor, a new resident. And I had my doors closed. I'm looking at him. Had my doors closed, but they're glass, so he can see through. And he was meowing at the door. So it's our kitty. Well, it's not our kitty. It's Sam's kitty, but now it's kind of our kitty. Well, at least for the near short term, long term. Hello, friends. Happy Saturday. Checking out the chat really quickly. Let's see. Oh, okay. Whoa. Just waiting for the YouTube to catch up with me. Come on. What's it doing? What's it doing? Hi, Gracie Creates. Hi, Carmen. Hi, Vicky. Vicky, Arizona, Vicky, right? Hi, Brenda. Hi, Robin from Arkansas. Hi, Scrapped NH. Good morning. All right, friends. So we've got a lot of fun stuff today. I don't know. Why is hang on, you guys. Sorry. Oh, there we go. That was weird. Things are looking a little odd. It's been a while, right? It's been a while. We'll just kind of move that a bit. It's been a while. Oh my gosh, it's been like 3 weeks, right? We were last together on Saturday, July 22nd. And then I was away for a long weekend and then home for 2 days and then gone for 9 or 10 days, I think, up in Spokane. Teaching at the Three Craft Chicks Seaside Summer Camp at Lake Lottawashi, super long name retreat, but we had so much fun. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. But I missed you guys. We've been away for a while. So let's see. Hi, Cindy from Finger, Tennessee. Ginger, welcome back, Lil. Good morning from Southern Oregon. Hi, Julie. So happy Saturday, everyone. I'm very, very, very excited to be back. Because it's been a while and I miss our Saturdays when we are not together. Couple of housekeeping items. Well, let me back up. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been with me for a while, welcome. Welcome to everyone. If we haven't met before, my name is Lael Kankar and I have a business called Lael by Mail. Way pre-pandemic, I was traveling a lot and teaching scrapbooking classes. And after a while, people kept saying, why don't you come teach where I live or where I live or I live? And I'm like, I'm only one person, I can't go everywhere. And then people started saying, well, why don't you just do your kits by mail? And I'm like, no one would want to do that. Well, here we are many, many, many years later. And that's how Lael by Mail was born. Since I couldn't be in all the places live, then mail. So when I'm not traveling, we are here on Saturdays on my YouTube channel, and we are doing what I like to call creative listing. So a couple days before we are together, it's going to be interesting. He's going to keep coming in and out, I think. I've been gone. Nick has been gone. Sam, our younger son, it's his cat. He moved into a house with some friends, and one of the friends is deathly allergic to cats. So now we have Sam's cat. But we have not had a kitty for a while, so it's welcome. But we've learned he likes to jump. So it's very possible he could be joining us up here on my counter. We have a big like square chandelier in our entryway. It's like over the stairs, so it's like a big, like 2-story. Apparently while we were gone, he leapt off the banister onto the chandelier. Lily was here working while I was gone, and she heard this racket. And the reason we knew he was there is because all the little glass things that kind of go over the bulbs are all skiwampus, and he keeps looking up there though. And I'm like, don't go up there, because you go up there again, we have a problem, little Reggie. So anyhow, I'll try not to get too distracted. I don't know, he's found something under my desk that he's playing with. He's a very cute kitty. Totally, yeah, that is one of those. That is a squirrel moment. We just had a little squirrel moment there. Yes, so when I'm not traveling, we're here on my YouTube channel on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and we are doing what I like to call creative listing. So a couple days before we're together, I publish on the blog at least 3, sometimes a couple more, different list topics. And then that's what I do here on Saturday. I take those list topics, and then I take lots of fun product, and I play. Some of you play along with me live, where you are also listing. Some of you are working on other projects. Some of you are working on past lists. Some of you are working or cleaning the house or doing whatever you like to do. But this kind of turned into a very fun, for me, place to be on Saturdays. My gosh, almost 3.5 years ago. we started doing these. So if you are new, welcome. If you are existing and have been around a while, welcome. You heard me kind of interacting with folks. I totally aged myself there. There is a live chat that takes place. So if you, if you are, oh my goodness, you guys, I don't know if you can hear him, but it sounds like he's bouncing off the walls. If you are watching live, you can participate in the live chat. And so I see that on the right-hand side of my screen. Once I rotate the camera, it's a lot easier for me to see and interact with that chat. It's a little bit further away from me right now. And if I don't see it like that, then I know Monique. Well, let's see. Let's see if he will let me. He is a big kitty. Come here, Reggie. Come here. Can we say hi? Oh, he's a big kitty. There he is. There's Reggie. Reggie, look at. Hi. He is such a sweet kitty. He is like the perfect mix of our last two cats. He's the exact same coloring as Q, one of our cats that we had in the past, and then the size of Poe, our other cat. So he is like the perfect blend of both of those two kitties. We're having fun. Let's see, I got home on Thursday night and Nick got home last night. So we're still kind of getting accustomed to having a little kitty, a little friend in the house again. What does he have? I don't know. He's got a button, or I don't know what's on the ground, but he's having a lot of fun with it. So now we know that's a play toy. It's like with kids. You don't need to buy them toys. You just buy them boxes, and then they're happy to play in a box. With cats, you don't need to buy them toys. You just find little things, and he likes to play with straws. He likes to play with sticks. I don't know. I think he's a little bit more dog than cat. So once I flip the camera, I'll be able to see much easier what you guys are saying, because you guys are far away from me right now. Monique said, I lost all mine and I miss having one. Same, Monique. Yeah, we were about, our last one died early COVID days, and then it's been a while. So it is kind of fun to have a little friend in the house again. Debbie said black and white is my favorite, reminds me of her domino. Okay. Okay, friends, so couple housekeeping. Originally, I hate to do this. Originally, we were going to be together next weekend. That would be Saturday the 19th. I think we're going to go away. I think we're going to take Harvey. Nick and I are going to take Harvey and go away for a couple days. That's my birthday weekend, and we were looking at the calendar and trying to figure out when we might be able to jet out, and it may be that weekend. So I will post in the Facebook group and on the Facebook page if that in fact is going to happen. If that happens, we will not be together on Saturday. We will not be together. Where we're thinking of going, there's not even internet access. So even if I wanted to try to do something, it wouldn't work. So just kind of, I'll keep you posted on that one. What else? Prizes. We have a couple winners from last week. Well, not last week, when we were together last, like 3 weeks ago, right? So we had 2 prizes from last week. One was, I asked, and you guys were like, yes, we would love that. So I'm doing this from now on. That bag is all the rest of the product from the Sunkissed collection. So Sunkissed from Pretty Little Studios. I had worked with some of that on our Saturday sessions, and there's a ton left in there. And so that's one of the prizes, just kind of all those goodies. And that one I picked this morning. The way that you participate in the giveaways, I have you leave a comment on the video when it's over. So both of the individuals that won had left a comment on the video from the 22nd. Oopsie, I dropped some things. Hang on. Now I don't know if I leave those on the floor what the cat will do. So we better pick those up. Okay. Oh, I need to turn the fan on too, because it's a little toasty. Oh yes, you leave a comment on the video, and when the video is, there we go. You leave a comment on the video when it's over. And when we're together again, so that would have been today, this morning, before we started, I drew two random lucky winners based on the comments that were left, okay? And that's how you participate in the giveaways. Super easy. You don't have to be live. I call them like after party prizes. So after we do this session, then you can go leave a comment. So first winner, Sunkissed collection, was Janelle Stock 2380. I think that's Janelle Stockton. So Janelle, if you were here, congratulations. And if you're not here, congratulations too. The way you know you win a prize, friends, I reply to your comment on the YouTube video and I tell you what you want and I tell you exactly how to get in touch so I can get your prize shipped. So that part is super important. And that, when I leave you a comment, that should trigger an email to you. Assuming you have that, I think, turned on in YouTube. I don't know if you have to have it turned on. If you are consistently leaving comments, double check to make sure that that is turned on, or that you're getting replies back from me when I reply, because that's how you know. All right, second prize. Last week, and when I rotate the camera, we'll take a look at the list that we did last week. Last time we were together, we'll take a look at the list. I feel like we need some light. Hang on, I'm not sure what this will do. Hang on. I know what that does when I'm standing here and I turn on the light. Let's see. Oh, let's see. It may, I don't know, might look weird. We'll see. We shall see. So second winner. Last week we used the library card stamp, and then we used a library card pocket. I don't know. Light's kind of weird. It's fine. That's the second prize, the library card stamp, the mail by mail library card stamp, and the pocket. And so that one goes to Diana Jackman. So Diana, congratulations. Also a reply to your comment, so you should also receive an email. So those are two prizes for today. I mean, from last time we were together. So when I was thinking about prizes for today, you guys, I'm like, it's been 3 weeks. So maybe we should have 3 prizes instead of 2. And you know what the heck? Maybe we should have 3 really big prizes. So today there are 3 big prizes. I want to say the lowest value of the prize, of one prize, is $55. And then the highest is 100 something. So three big prizes today. So stay tuned as we are going. I'll talk about the prizes, but just remember, all you have to do is leave a comment on the video when it's over, anytime between now and when we're together again, and I'll pick 3 random lucky winners. Okay, Jackie said fantastic, fingers crossed. Monique said congratulations, Diana. Yes, Janelle and Diana. Okay, friends, I think we are going to flip the camera. Oh, I got some very good news last night at about 9:30 p.m. My new Traveler's Notebooks, the Mail by Mail Traveler's Notebooks and inserts, are shipping from China next week on the 14th, Monday. Shipping Monday or Tuesday. Now, when I say shipping, they're not getting on an airplane. There are 2 giant pallets, like full-size pallet that probably taller than me. So they are going on the water, so they'll go on the slow boat. And then they will land at one of the ports in Southern California, Long Beach or LA, I don't know which one. And then they go through customs, and then UPS or a trucking company, not sure which one, will make it to me. So we are hoping, crossing our fingers, that end of September, okay? End of September. So as soon as I hear that they have landed in the US soil, then I will start showing and promoting, putting them up for pre-order. I don't want to do that until I know that they have hit US soil. Even sometimes when they hit US soil, it depends on how many ships, how many containers need to be unloaded from the ships, what the staffing is like in the shipyards when all of those containers come in and need to be unloaded and then go through customs and all that. So that's the plan. We're going to cross our fingers for end of September. Okay. One more housekeeping item. If you saw my email that went out on Thursday, you received it on Thursday or Friday, my 2023 December documented mini book project kit goes up for pre-order 2 weeks from yesterday, which is the 25th. Okay, goes up for pre-order 2 weeks from yesterday, August 25th. It will ship mid-September. I am teaching that at a retreat the first real week of September. So I have to have it all done. It'll be done early this year. So should expect those to start shipping mid-September, because that is my biggest, most popular project kit that I do every year. So that's the 2023 December documented. Watch for that. But you may want to put a little reminder, add it to your calendar, Friday, August 25th, 7 p.m. Pacific time. That's when it goes up for pre-order. Okay, friends, I love it. Joy said on my calendar. Sarah said, cannot wait for the December documented project. All of the product came while I was gone. Lily, who works for me part-time, you guys have heard me talk about Lily quite a bit. The pallets came, actually 2 of the 3 pallets. I had Simple Stories hang on to one of the pallets. So I have half the albums here. Half the albums are still at Simple Stories because it's a lot of product. It is a lot of product. So starting next week, Lily will start kitting those, but she called her husband and said, will you please come help me unload these pallets? So actually it was great. It's all here. Now I just need to start designing, which is the fun part, right? All right, friends, I am Dandy. I haven't had an email since July 6th. Do I need to re-sign up? Dandy, double check your spam junk folder to see if perhaps those emails are landing in there. I hear from some of you that for whatever reason, emails from me land in there. If that's the case, just add me, thelailbymail@gmail.com, in your contacts, and then the emails universe, whatever, realizes that we're friends because I'm in your contacts, and then things shouldn't fall into your junk or spam folder. If you don't see anything there, shoot me an email and I will look at it because you could have fallen off. Sometimes people will accidentally unsubscribe and then it's easy for me to re-add you. Dandy, you could also just try to resubscribe again and we'll see what happens there, but we'll get you figured out. Monique said she is going to try for the first time this year. Monique, it's an amazing project. It is, this will be my 16th year doing one personally, and I think the 9th year that I've done a project kit for it. So it's by far my most favorite project that I do for me every year. It's very special. So I have 15 of those albums, just 15 different December documented, December daily albums from the last 15 years, which is just, that's like, when somebody says, if your house caught on fire, what would you grab? That's what I would grab. I mean, obviously, if Reggie's here, pets and things like that, but that is what I would grab because those are my most prized possessions. Okay, friends. Gabby, yes, it is the same kit that we will be doing at Lizzie Lou's Christmas Bash. So one more thing about that, and then we'll get going. Those of you that are going to the 3 Craft Chicks retreat in November of 2023, whether you're going in person or virtual, that is the class that I am teaching there. So as part of your retreat, you get that class, which when Michelle Craft and Lauren, her daughter, came to me and said, hey, this is what we'd like you to teach this year. I'm like, oh my goodness. So that is amazing. Those of you doing the Lizzie Lou Christmas Bash, also teaching it there. It is a class that I am teaching in early September at Firefly Farm Fox Forest Retreat. It's an add-on class there. It is also an add-on class at add-on pre-class at Ready Set Create this year. I think that's, there's a lot coming up. I have a lot of traveling coming up, so I think I got everything. But when I send out that email, we'll make sure to tell you so you know if you're going to one of those events and you've already signed up, or it's an add-on or something like that, you don't get it again on accident. Okay, awesome, Dandy. Resubscribe to cover all the bases. Martine, will the class be available online only? Yes, Martine. For my internationals like you, I will offer an access only. But I will also do, in all the places I'm teaching in person, I will also, like I always do with all my mini book kits, I will also do an online class, a virtual class for everybody that buys it that's not attending an event. So you'll be able to watch that at any time. And that'll happen sometime November-ish. I need to look at the calendar and figure out where that is. Okie dokie. I may have missed some questions, comments. So if I did, don't be shy. Ask again. Once I flip the camera, easier to see. And Gracie creates that I will do virtual at 3 Craft Chicks in November. Yes. We'll have so much fun with that. All right, I think we're ready. I think I got all those little housekeeping things out of the way. And if there's any others, I'll remember them once we get going. I'm going to rotate the camera and we'll play. Okay, let's play. Let's play. Oh, I hate seeing that in the picture. Here we go. I have to show you guys this. I found after the retreat in Spokane, Michelle Craft, who owns 3 Craft Chicks with her daughter Lauren, took us up to an amazing place called Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene is a town that has a pretty fabulous, in Idaho, has a pretty fabulous lake around it. Oh, we did lots of shopping, we did lots of eating, we had so much fun. I will show you what I found. I'm not sure if it's an antique or not, but I saw it and I'm like, okay, so it probably weighs 6 or 7 pounds, but I don't care. I'm buying it and I'm bringing it back in my suitcase. Oh, did I lose you guys? Hang on. Okay, there we go. I didn't see anything for a minute. Let me plug in, excuse my arms there. Let me plug us in. There we go. Okay. This, you guys look at this. I saw this in the window and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to have this. Can you guys see this? Look at that squirrel. I gotta make sure you can see it. Look at the squirrel. It is like a heavy brass or something, I don't know. But look at it. I wanna make sure you can see it. Because sometimes when I hold the camera, you can't see, but look at that, isn't that so cool? And he's holding an acorn, but the acorn looks like a little bowl. Isn't that the coolest thing? I'm gonna say he's probably 8 or 9 inches tall. So he will sit on my desk. My entire desk will be clean when I'm done, because I've been a really good habit now of completely cleaning up right away, and then he will be the only thing on my desk. Yes, it was so perfect. So perfect. Yeah, for washi tape or whatever. Just loved him so much. Debbie, hi Debbie. I saw Debbie at the retreat this last weekend. She said we had a boat on Coeur d'Alene growing up, spent every weekend there. Oh my cool squirrel. So when I say Coeur d'Alene, you're like, okay, what did she say? Debbie in her little chat there just spelled Coeur d'Alene. There are a number of lakes in northern Idaho. Coeur d'Alene is one, Pend d'Oreille is another one. I just bring those two up because they are French. And when you look at the spelling, you're like, what the what? But yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I know, isn't it perfect? What a find, I agree. Like I have to put it in my suitcase. So yes, I like shoved it in my suitcase and my suitcase was 57 pounds. But it was okay because I fly Delta a lot and they are very nice to me. So I did not have to pay any extra, which was awesome. Okay, so let's take a look at our list from last week, all right? Last week. You know, I don't mean last week. I mean last time we were together, right? Let's move some of these fun little things out of the way. Last time we were together, we did 3 lists. Our first list was this guy. Trends I hope never come back in style. So we used the beautiful Spectrum Gardenia collection from 49 and Market. So I used some paper, used a little butterfly, used this kind of viewfinder die cut, and used some rub-ons. And then had to print some photos from the internet, right? Trends I hope never come back in style. We had so much fun with this. Lots of laughs, lots of chatting in the chat, lots of me telling the things on my list, like I hope MC Hammer pants and claw bangs, teased bangs, moon boot shoulder pads, low-rise jeans. Not that I hope Andre Agassi never comes back in style. I hope the mullet never comes back in style. Neon clothes and really, really, really feathered like Farrah Fawcett hair. Now, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with curled hair, but like really, really, really feathered where her poor little face is just dwarfed by hair. So we had a lot of fun with that one. Now, really quick, hang on. Casey Stamper said, such a pretty place to go. Yes, Coeur d'Alene. Cousin has family there, so we visit a few times. Yes, it's gorgeous. Hi, Aunt Recreates. Nice to see you. She said she missed the lives. I did too. I'm very happy to be back. Debbie, hi Debbie. Oh, Debbie, that's so nice. Your class at three Craft Chicks was my favorite. Thank you. I appreciate the way you walked around and chatted with all 200 plus of us. Yes. There were a lot of people. There were 225 people live and another 200 virtual. So it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. Hi, Melissa. Nice to see you. Hi, Nancy. Okay, here we go. This is talking about the first prize here, okay, you guys? So last week, last time we were together, I used Spectrum Gardenia. I've used Spectrum Gardenia quite a bit, moving on to working with new collections. And that means this right here is so full, it is bulging with products from Spectrum Gardenia. Now, some of these I have used, parts I have used, but all of this stuff that is opened but has not been used, right? So this is the first giveaway, you guys. This is a ton of product. Now it won't include the outer thing, my little storage case, but this is basically everything from Spectrum Gardenia. Again, some of it, few pieces have been used, but that's the first prize. Okay, moving on to our next list. Yes, I thought when I'm done working with the collection, I have tons of things. Now, most of them have been opened. In some cases, I might have used, I don't know, part of a rub-on or something like that, like this. I cut about part of the sheet and used it, but if I'm not going to use the collection anymore, it doesn't make sense for me to just hang on to it. I might as well share, right? So that's what I'm doing. Okay, second list. Second list was a 2-part list. So we did, whoa, almost fell over there. We did part of the list last week. We will do the other part of the list today. The first part of the list was used to hate, now I love. So things that I used to hate and now I love. Okay, things like country music, Brussels sprouts, red wine, wearing dresses, day 2 hair, things like that. Things I used to hate, now love. One of our lists today will be the opposite of that. Things I used to hate and I still hate. Okay, now, if hate is too strong of a word, you could be using like and dislike, that's fine. But I am going to use still hate, and that will be one of our lists for today. Our third list, I called recent buys. So just a list of things that I had bought recently. This to me is the perfect time capsule list, right? So I used little library pocket. I used the library card stamp, and I just started making a list of some of the things that I had recently purchased. This kind of list, time capsule, right? Because if I had made a list like this 25 years ago, I guarantee the things on my recent purchases or recent buys list would have been very different than now. So kind of fun. When I do lists like that, I always think, oh my gosh, I wish my grandmother, my mom had been keeping lists like that, because how cool would it be to go back and look at a list that my mom made, let's say in the early 70s, of things that she had recently purchased. It would be fun, right? Like maybe there would have been like an avocado green refrigerator, or a van with little circle windows, or I don't know, whatever people were buying in the 70s. A Papasan chair. Those are some of the things that we had in the 70s. Okay, those were our 3 lists from last week. Now, we are in a new month, and we are well into a new month now because it is the 12th. But this is the first Saturday that we have been together in the month of August, in a new month. And that's one of the lists that we do the first Saturday of every month is something called About Last Month. About Last Month is a list that I started doing probably 3 years ago. And it is a way for me to very easily capture just some of the details of what happened in a month in my life. So if we look at, here we go. This is the one from June. And all of my lists look very similar to this. I switch up kind of the way things look a little bit every year. I use a new stamp set. I release a new stamp set every year for this. And so kind of that little part looks a little bit different, but basically it's the same idea every month. I am just bullet listing, run on list of the things that happened during the month. And then I add some photos. So this is a very easy way for me to document what happened. Not in a 12 by 12 scrapbook page, not in double page spreads, not a lot of photos, just some of the things that happened, and then some highlight photos. So there you go. I am going to start today with that list for the month of July. That is always a 2-page list, okay? Always a 2-page list. So what I need to do, I need to move forward. I know we're skipping this one because there's my little sticky for the things I still hate. I also need to skip this because I need to do a 2-page list, so we'll have to come back with a single page here later. And I will open up to a new spread. Debbie asked a question, what photo printer do you use to print your photos? Debbie, I use the Epson PictureMate PM400. It is linked in the description box of the video. So down below, you will see a whole bunch of links, and that is one of the very first ones under the section that says what I'm using. That is it's an amazing printer. It usually runs between 200 and 250, but it seems to usually kind of settle around 250 unless it's like Prime Day or something and they go on sale. But it prints 3.5 by 5, 4 by 6, and 5 by 7, and it is just an awesome little printer. And I'll tell you that's what I use, but you will also see in the chat, there are a number of other people that use that as well. Just because I use it all the time, talk about it all the time. It's a pretty popular printer for scrapbookers, memory keepers, people that do, things like we do, because it's super easy to use. And the nice thing is it gives you those 3 different size options. So pretty compact printer. Maybe it's like, I want to say maybe 6 inches by 4 inches by 3 inches tall, roughly those dimensions, but it's pretty compact. I wouldn't say it's a portable printer, but if I'm going to a crop or something where I know I'm going to have time to work on my projects, I will put it in my carry-on and take it with me. Okay, so about last month, for the month of July, I had to redirect the fan here because, oh boy, yeah, it's my own personal summer, and during the summer is in full force right now, if you know what I mean, like the menopause and the hot flashes. Oh, Gabby, that's great to know. Gabby said she bought hers refurbished for about half the price and it works great. The link in the description box of the video takes you to Amazon. And sometimes you can find refurbished there. But yeah, whatever works, but it's pretty awesome printer. Okay, so for my list today, my about last month for the month of July, I am using the Trail Mix collection from Simple Stories. I love this collection so much. Haven't used it yet, so I'm excited to start using it today. I'm actually going to use it on 2 of my lists today. So to get started, we need to do a little stamping, right? Hi, Terry. Terry said, sorry, I'm late. What did I miss? Stupid me, I had to go to the grocery store first thing this morning. We're just getting started. Talked about some big prizes, 3 big prizes today. Oh yes, ink. Let's look. So I pulled out a couple of ink colors that I thought would potentially work with the collection. I need a mint. Like this is screaming for a mint. There is no mint in the Tim Holtz range of colors. Salvage patina sometimes can work. Trying to think what else. Cracked pistachio. Cracked pistachio is I probably need to pull that out because it's probably going to be the closest. Now that I look at that, cracked pistachio, hang on, here we go, is probably going to be the closest. I think there must be something, in the formulation of inks that makes it difficult, at least in distress oxides. The way that they're processed, although the distress ink's not mint either. Anyhow, we don't see a mint. I keep saying, I want a mint, but we haven't seen it yet. We can still hold out hope, right? We can still hold out hope. So when I do this list, I'm stamping with my voice. You guys hear that a little bit? My voice is still a little bit, shaky. From all the talking over the last couple of weeks. The last 10 days when I was at the retreat. Lots of talking. All right, so I'm usually doing 3 colors, I lied. Usually doing 3 colors. And it's interesting because, look at this. Those are the colors that I have here. Very similar to what I have here, right? Yes, Gabby was there too. Gabby was at the retreat too. It was so fun to see you again, Gabby. Lots of teaching, yeah. Oh, and Debbie, yes, Debbie said, we know you and Vicki never talk. Yeah, we talk a lot, don't we? And then we were rooming together, and then we go back to the room and keep talking. So 3 colors, and guess what's it's so interesting. I have those 3 colors up here again to work with. So we'll see if mustard seed makes it in. Mustard seed may not make it in. When I did my about last month list for June, I actually did a little shadowing. So I first stamped in yellow with that June stamp and then re-inked with green, and the green was Meadow. Can't remember. What's Meadow? It's gonna bug me now. Meadow? Mowed lawn. I used mowed lawn, not Meadow. Used mowed lawn and offset stamp, so I kind of created a little shadow effect there. Because I wanted to use the yellow, but I thought the yellow might be a little bit too light, so that was a fun way to incorporate the yellow as kind of a shadow. So I have the 2023 about last month's stamp set. Idea is you have all 12 months, you have the year 2023, and then you have two different kind of supporting phrases that you can use. About last month, that's in my handwriting, but you also have month in review. So if you wanted to call it month in review instead of about last month, you could. So let's get this guy out. We need July. We need about last month. Okay, hang on. Sorry, friends. That just reminded me. I should have done this earlier. I would really like to bring this mat in because that will help protect my work surface. One of these days, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to be stamping, and just like when you're making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, the bread falls off the counter onto the floor, and it never lands bread side down. It always lands peanut butter side down. And I am so worried that one of these days I'm going to be stamping, and I will drop the ink pad, and the ink pad will drop ink pad side down. So I totally forgot to fix that this morning before we started. So let's just get some of those little things moved off to the side, and then I'm a little bit more protected. So this mat, I know Terry, she's like, where's the mat? Terry is actually the one that recommended this mat to me. It is a mat from Ikea. What's nice, well, for me, what's nice about it, it is kind of, it's opaque-ish, so you can see through it a little bit, but because it's white or, you know, kind of clearish, it's not super distracting. So there we go. All right, so I need about last month, I need 2023, and I need July. There we go. And I'll be using some of the papers on one of my other lists today. Move this off to the side. Where did my little sheet go? Okay, I will find that. Oopsie, later. Find that guy later. I need my stamping box. I need my little stamping test book. Move these up here so they're a little bit out of the way. And let's do, I think I'll do this one. We need a couple though. Those should work. All right, there we go. Let's start with those. All right, so even though, so I have 3 stamps here, right? And they basically would line up like that. July is there, about last month is there, and 2023 is right there. So I could stamp all those together if I wanted. If I stamped all of those together, the first thing is, unless I'm really, really talented and am making sure that I could try to ink each of those individually, even though they're on the same block, if I wanted to use different colors, right? That would be hard to do. So that's one reason why I will put those on 3 individual stamping blocks, because I want to be able to stamp different colors. But the other reason, even if I wasn't wanting to stamp different colors, even if I wanted to stamp all of those together, hang on, I'm just trying to place that where I like it. Even if I wanted to stamp all the same color, I still would not put them all in the same stamping block together. And that's just me. The reason for that is if I did that, I can't get my stamps as close as I want them, because you have that extra rubber there and right there. That's for stability, right? You've got that extra rubber or polymer there for stability. So I can't get my 2023 as close as I want. So I will, for those 2 reasons, stamp each of those individually. All right, I need my pencil board. My pencil board. So pencil board is a fancy name for something that you can slide under something else to give yourself a flat surface to stamp or write on. So in this case, I will be stamping directly on the insert itself. So I really should do myself a favor and give myself a flat surface, in this case a pencil board, slide that underneath my page so that when I'm stamping, I am now stamping on something flat. Because I'm working with an insert, I don't have the option of taking that page out, right? So it'd be much easier if I was going to stamp on white cardstock, say, and put that there, because then I just stamp on it here and I have a flat surface. But when I'm working in a traveler's notebook, I don't have that option. Excuse me. Here's a prime example of if I was not using a pencil board underneath this page. So if I wasn't using that and I went to stamp here, I can already tell you I'd have a big problem. Because right here, look at all the stuff. Look at all those layers. I can feel those. And if I can feel them, you better believe when I go to stamp right there, my stamped impression is not going to look like I want it to look because all this stuff is lumpy bumpy underneath. So pencil board really comes in handy for that. You can make your own pencil board out of chipboard or like a thick placemat or something like that. I also have them on the website. All right. So, have my pencil board out. Let's see, as I'm looking at, I'm going to stop for 1 second. I am going to put my photo down and do a little bit of decorating over here first, and then that will help kind of define the which inks I want to use where over here. Stacy, hi Stacy. Stacy said, do you always use Distress Oxide or do you use Distress inks too? Me personally, I always use Distress Oxide, and that is just a personal preference. I like the way oxides look when you stamp with them. I call them like a juicy ink. Now that's just my personal term. I call them a juicy ink. They are a pigment-based ink, so they will give you more of an opaque or filled-in stamped image, as opposed to a dye-based ink or a hybrid ink, potentially, and a Distress ink versus an oxide. Distress ink is a dye-based, and Distress oxide is a pigment-based. I only use inks for stamping. Sometimes I use it for stencils and kind of blending, but not much. The two types of inks, pigment and dye, or oxide and regular Distress, have very different properties. If you are using inks for any kind of mixed media, or you want to use water with them, or you want to blend them, it's important that you know the difference. When it comes to that, I don't do those things, so I can't tell you which one is better for what. But I can tell you at the bottom of the description, in the description box of the video, I have 2 links to some great articles at scrapbook.com. One talks about the difference between a dye-based ink and a pigment-based ink. The other one talks about the differences between Distress oxides and Distress inks and shows you side-by-side comparisons and then tells you when you might want to use one versus the other. So, yes, Stacy, I almost exclusively use a Distress oxide because I use inks for stamping and pretty much nothing else, and I like the way Distress oxides look when I stamp. So, when I say juicy ink, what I mean is something like this. Like, look how solid that is. There's no like little spaces in that stamped impression. So that's the personal, for me, that's the look I like. So I like to use a Distress oxide. So that's what I use. All right, so let's get going over here. Let me start with my photo. So my photo is a 5x7, and that is printed on that's printed on the Epson PictureMate PM400, the printer I was talking about before. It prints 5x7, 4x6, and I think it's 3.5x5, 3x5 or 3.5x5. This is 5 inches, okay, 5 inches wide. My Traveler's Notebook insert is 5 inches wide. It is a standard wide, so 5 inches wide. Now, I always have to trim this guy down a little bit. This is 5 inches, this is 5 inches. So you might say, Lael, why do you have to trim it down? Because I lose a couple millimeters in the center where it is bound or stapled. So I need to trim it down just a little bit. Let's see while I'm doing that. Black Girl Happy Planner, hi there. Said, funny you said that. In every apartment I've lived, I used to put all my photo albums and scrapbooks right next to the door so that in case of fire, I could grab them quickly, right? Yeah. Those are well, they're not the memories, right? The memories are, with me, but They're the physical representation of those memories. Hi, Mary J. Blige. Nice to see you. Glad you're back. Just checking in, getting ready to leave to go see Ed Sheeran. Oh, I'm so jealous. I am so jealous. Well, I will be there with you in spirit, Mary J. I love Ed Sheeran. That's going to be an amazing concert. Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right, so we trimmed it down just a little bit. Let's see where we are. Mariposa said, thank you for the comparison of the two inks. I never knew. Here's another thing, just while I'm kind of working. Distress oxides, the way you can visually tell the difference, even if you're not reading. Distress oxides in a gray little plastic case. And regular distress inks are in a... Do I have any? Maybe I don't have any more. Maybe I got rid of... Oh, no, there we go. Regular distress inks are in a black. So if you're at the store and you're buying and you normally use one versus the other, make sure you don't accidentally pick up the black one, the distress ink, when you mean to get the gray one, the distress oxide, okay? All right, I've done that before. And then I'm like, oh no, what did I do? All right, so we're gonna start with my photo. This photo I printed, as I said, the Epson PictureMate PM400, but I used the Epson Creative Print app on my phone. That is a free app. What's really cool about that app is it has a whole bunch of pre-configured templates. This is a pre-configured template. I didn't do this on Photoshop. I just opened the app, picked this template, and then dropped the photos in right on the app. So the photos, the app has access, I give it access to the camera roll on my phone, and I literally pick that template and then just drop the photos in. So that's kind of a really fun way to get some different size photos, smaller photos on your main photo. All right, so that guy will go over there. Oh, I forgot my adhesive. I unpacked last night from the 10-day trip, and I had a lot of things with me. Traveler's notebooks, traveler's notebook inserts, all my stamps, lots of tools and different things like that. So I got everything unpacked last night, but then forgot to get things back out for today. So there we go. There's the photo to start with. It's just some photos from the month. Oh my goodness, totally forgot. You can tell it's been a while since I've done this. Normally I leave this spot open because I like to put embellishments and things right there. So guess what? I'm gonna end up putting some embellishments, excuse me, over that photo, and that's okay. It's a photo of a lake. That's a photo of Upper Priest Lake in northern Idaho. I know some of my friends here know where that is. All right, so let's look at, oh yes, this guy is up for the next list. Let's take a look at just some of the things I wanted to pull out. Maybe this little guy. Ooh, if we go that route, if we do that little cabin, then I will pull in a different pink. I won't pull that one. I won't use that one. Oh, I think we could have a little tree here. Maybe we put a little tree next to the cabin. So we have friends that live, they have a cabin on the lake in Priest Lake, Idaho. And it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lake. So the cabin works, the little tree works. I think I want to do this maybe over here. Oh, but look at, here's also a little grove of trees. Maybe we should do that. Oh yes, that looks more like, totally covering up the photo there. That looks a little bit more like the trees there. Those are tamarack pines, and they are I don't think all of them are. I think some of them are tamarack pines, if I recall. And in the fall, the leaves turn this kind of golden yellow. Oh, they're so pretty. So, so pretty. All right, so let's see what else. I had just pulled some of the die cuts out. So I had a couple of the die cuts out here in my setup before I moved everything aside. We have this little, we kind of move this in here maybe, or maybe over here like that. We'll see, just to bring in a little bit more color over here. Along the bottom here, usually I do a little bit of washi. So let's see. Mary, are you concerned about covering the water? The water right there? No, I forgot. I usually keep that space totally empty. I usually keep that space totally empty so I can decorate on it, and I forgot. So yeah, it's okay. It's all right. I have this little guy. Friends. We could put friends there. We'll see. I don't know, maybe. Friends could maybe go there. Now, we didn't spend the whole week at the lake or the whole month at the lake. Let's see. But isn't that the sky? It is the sky, right? That's the sky. The water is down below that I've covered up. So I'm okay covering any part of that, for sure. See you, Jackie? Yeah, that's the sky. The water's underneath. I'm okay covering it. Otherwise, then I don't have any room to decorate. Because, you know, sometimes we got to do the decorating. The decorating's the fun part. The documenting is good, but we also got to do the decorating, right? We also have to do the decorating. Yeah, no. I don't know. Maybe this guy ends up there a little bit. Maybe. So that's why I kind of had to step away. I was going to start my inking, and I wanted to kind of get things placed first so I knew which ink colors that I wanted to use. So I think we'll pull in, not saltwater taffy. I think we'll pull in, let's look and see, pink. I am thinking picked raspberry. Picked raspberry will be, I think, pretty nice. So that was saltwater taffy, either kitsch flamingo or picked raspberry. Maybe we'll go kitsch flamingo. Let's do kitsch flamingo. So saltwater taffy, sorry pal, you're off. You're out, you're off the island. That kitsch flamingo. We'll use kitsch flamingo. And we may or may not use the yellow. The yellow is kind of not going to work, so I don't think we'll use the yellow. But now I have a good feel for what's happening. I may want to, let's take a look at the washi. So the washi that's part of Trail Mix, that is the washi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 parts. Maybe we use these two. These two right along there at the bottom. Let's see. Let's look. So the washi would normally go kind of right along here like this. Like that, and would go a little bit under there. Like that. Now, that I want to, oh, well, I'll decide first if I like that before I cut it, although that I am going to tear off. That would go there. My little trees would go right here, like so. There, we can see a little bit more of the water. And then if this guy goes here, we just add a little bit more. A little bit more washi right there, because sometimes it's fun to do a double layer. A little double layer like that. Okay, that is going to work. All right, now what I need to do, super important part, I need to take my little craft knife. So I'm using my little retractable craft knife. I need to cut that washi. I don't want to leave that connected. If I leave that connected, it's going to make it really difficult for that insert to continue to open and close. So I just cut that. Good morning, Marilee. Nice to see you. Oh, hi, honey, in the other room. Over Amazon Prime Day, or days, whatever it was, I bought a new kitchen faucet that is one of those like touchless ones. So if you get stuff all over your hands, I don't know how it works yet, that you do something like that and then the water turns on. So Nick was just installing that for me this morning. All right, Nick's my husband, if you don't know. All right, so there we go. These little guys, we'll go ahead and put these down now. My little die cuts, that little guy will go there. So this collection, definitely outdoors, right? It's definitely very outdoor themed trail mix. It has some camping, some fun little trail badges, things like this. So I pulled out a couple of the badges that I may end up using on the next one. So kind of like your little Girl Scout badges. What's fun about the collection though, even though it's definitely kind of has a like camping outdoors theme, you have some things that are very much not that. Like remember, memories, and nature. Sorry, you guys, I have a little bit of a frog stuck in my throat. I have a quick sip of iced tea. You have things that work for other things besides kind of camping outdoors. Some really fun flowers, butterflies, lots of cameras in the collection. So it's very themed, but can also work for non-camping topics as well. So I'm going to just use my little glue pen here to get adhesive on the trunks of those trees. That's important that I get adhesive down there because I don't want those to lift later, right? We don't want those lifting. All right, there we go. Oh, I was thinking friends here. Maybe. We'll see. We could decide maybe friends goes there, maybe it doesn't. Sure, why not? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Sometimes we spend so long going, well, should I do that? Should I do this? And trying different things, and then we never get anything done. So we're just going to say, yep, it looks good. It's going to work. There it goes. I still will use these little guys over here somehow, just to add a little bit more visual interest to break up the things on my list. There's a little bird. A little bird can go right about there. And I just use my glue pen on that just because much easier than trying to get my adhesive on all the little parts, the tails and the little beak of the bird. Hi, Diane. Diane said, sorry, I'm late to the party, you guys. You guys, there is no late, okay? There is no late. This is like an open house, all right? You probably don't walk into an open house and say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm late. You come and go as you please. So think of this as an open house. There's no late. There is no late. Also, sometimes, and I love it, sometimes you guys will say, oh, I'm leaving, see you later, I gotta go, or whatever. And you tell that in the chat, which is so nice, but you also don't have to do that, because if you were at an open house, you probably wouldn't, I don't know, you might, you may or may not tell the person that you're leaving. So don't feel like you have to do that. Okay, there we go. So now I have a much better idea of what colors to use, right? I was thinking mustard seed. I probably won't use mustard seed. I may come in and try to pick up a little bit of that color there. We'll see. So I think I will have July be cracked pistachio. I will have About Last Month be Kitsch Flamingo. Ooh, you know what? Maybe I'll pull in a little bit of that orange for 2023. That could be kind of fun. Maybe a little tiny bit of that orange. Maybe we do a dried marigold. Maybe dried marigold, or wild honey. Wild honey might work as well. Let's look. Where is wild honey? Where's my wild honey? These are just my swatches. Okay, these I used the Swatch This Inks stamp set to swatch my inks. Oh, wild honey. Yes, wild honey. That's what it is. So I used the Swatch This Inks stamp set to swatch my inks. This is probably one of my most often used things. Anytime I'm using inks, I pull this out because this gives me a very easy way to see which ink color works. Here's a prime example. The color on your ink itself sometimes is very different what that looks like than it is when it actually is stamped. Like, look at that. If you saw that, you'd think, oh my gosh, it's kind of rusty. I don't want to use that. But look at how different, look at how beautiful it is here. Nothing wrong with it here, but stamped, you get a much better idea of what the color looks like. So this one, I would say, even though the stamp isn't one of my most used because I've already swatched it, but this, one of my most used tools in my little tool chest. Hi Shay, nice to see you. Mrs. Allen, good afternoon. Debbie said you just motivated me to swatch my inks with your stamps that you bought in Spokane at the retreat. I love it. Yeah, Debbie, this is, such an awesome, I think, such an awesome tool in your little toolbox. All right, so that is going to be July. Let's move this out of the way. Here we go. I need to get that stamped up, and then I will test it first. Testing to me is a very, very, very important part of stamping. I should also mention, I've already primed this whole set. What I usually do when I get a new stamp set, I will prime the whole set or the whole sheet. So I will take the stamp set and I will prime or condition it. There's a couple different ways that you can do that. So I do it on the sheet and I do them all at once so I know it's done. A couple different ways you can do that. I take a just white block eraser. So I'm just taking an eraser and I will very gently rub over the top of that stamp. I'm not rubbing hard enough that I'm getting the little eraser tailings, right? We don't want eraser tailings. We don't want those little things that come off sometimes when you stamp or when you erase really hard. Just gently. The reason I need to do that, your photopolymer stamps, and I'm assuming acrylic stamps do too. I don't know because I don't use or make acrylic stamps. For the most part, I don't use them, but I definitely don't make them. All of mine are photopolymer. That process leaves you with a very thin coating on the stamp itself. You can't see it, but it is there, and you need to get rid of it. Or when you're stamping, you may not like the outcome. Whenever I talk about this, people who have tried to stamp and decided they hate stamping, this is like a huge aha moment, because it was a huge aha moment for me. So I'll continue with that in just a second. I am now cleaning that off with my little stamp chamois. So it's just a little stamp chamois. I have those on the website. Don't need a stamp chamois, don't need an eraser. You need something to, you can use them, but you don't have to have them. You need something to clean that off. You need something to then clean off what you used to clean off, in that case, the eraser. Super important part of that process, kind of a 3-step process. Erase, one of the ways you can do it, clean, and then dry. The dry part is so important, right, Marilee? The dry part is so important because some of your inks, like Distress Oxides, are water reactive, meaning they react when you put water with them. And if you're meaning to do that, then it's really cool. But if you have no clue that that's what's going to happen and you didn't mean for that to happen, because this is still damp, wet, and you put ink on it, your outcome, your stamped image is probably not going to look like you want it to, and that is because water reaction, okay? So I am drying that off. Now I just use a microfiber cloth. These I also sell on the website, but doesn't matter. You don't have to use this. You don't have to use the chamois. You don't have to use the eraser, but you do really, really, really have to. If you want to stamp and you want to like your stamping, you should prime or condition and then clean and dry just so you're ready to roll. All right, all done. I'm taking my ink. I prefer to ink this way. I apply the ink to the stamp as opposed to apply the stamp to the ink. That's personal preference. I feel like I get more control if I do that. And when I say control, I just don't want to have a lot of ink all over my stamping block. So I find I get more control by applying the ink to the stamp as opposed to the stamp to the ink. Now, when stamps get really small, you kind of have to do it the other way, but that's what I'm going to do here. All right, ink that up, and I test it. Always, always, always test it, always, because you want to make sure that it's straight. You want to make sure that you like the color. If you're spelling a word with individual stamps, you want to make sure it's spelled correctly. You want to make sure that if you have used an eraser to prime or condition, and maybe you didn't quite get all the eraser parts off, you want to make sure you don't have little spaces in your stamped image. If you're using a wipe, sometimes people will use a wipe to clean it off. Some wipes give you a lot of residue on the stamp. When I say residue, I mean like little fibers. There's like little fibers in the wipe and they end up on the stamp. So you end up with a very odd stamped impression because there's a whole bunch of little fiber marks. Always, always, always test. If you're going to make a mistake here or something didn't work, it's better to make it here than make it here on your project, right? Okay, next thing we need to talk about very quickly. Before I stamp, I should always, always, always turn to the page before. So I turn to the page before and I'm like, I am okay. I don't have a list there. I don't have anything there. It's important that I look to see what happened behind me, what happened before. If I had a list here and I had written that list like this directly on the page itself, I would have a problem, because if I didn't check and I stamped right here, I would have some shadowing or ghosting on the back side. And I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's just that you'd have shadowing or ghosting, and then it would kind of show through, and then you're like, shoot, I ruined it. So always, always, always check before you start stamping what happened here. Now, what's automatically going to happen, that is going to make it that when I use this page for a list, I am going to have to put a piece of paper down first, like something that I did here, because there will be shadowing or ghosting, okay? Just another one of those things that you want to check for before you start your stamping. There's my pencil board. Want to put that pencil board under there so it's ready to go. Now I need to re-ink. If I don't re-ink, I've been talking long enough. I already stamped once with it, and I've been talking long enough that if I don't re-ink right now, that's dry. So get that re-inked up. Oh yes, I also try to make sure, hang on, I think it's 5 lines down. I usually go about the same spot every time. Let's see, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so I try to get that little line right there, about 5 rows down on my insert, just so it's about the same place every time, about, right? All right, get that nice and inked up so that looks nice and will look nice and solid when I stamp. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want that to go right about there. I'm gonna go down a little bit further. There we go. Now I can already tell, I think I'm a little bit crooked, but that's okay. I want to, nice solid pressure, right? I don't want to press down too hard. If I press down too hard, it's going to take that stamp and it's going to flatten it, which means the ink is going to flatten and spread out. So nice even pressure. I don't really want to rock it, because if I rock that stamping block, it's going to put more pressure at the top of the image and at the bottom of the image. So I just want a nice even pressure, and there we go. So I have a little bit of space in there where it didn't quite get all the ink applied. Now, that's okay. It doesn't look bad. I could leave it that way, or I could fix it. The way that I would fix it, I wouldn't try to stamp again, because if I, oopsie, sorry friends, you can't see that. I went a little bit too high there. So you're probably looking at that going, Lael, I don't even know what you're talking about. I really don't see anything. I just see a little bit of open space there. So sometimes that may bother me. While I'm still have my ink wet on here, I'm gonna go ahead and clean that off, because it's much easier to clean off when your ink is still a little bit damp, right? Much easier to clean off than when it is totally dry. Come back in with my little microfiber cloth and just dry that right off. Debbie, you're off to the water park to use my pass, possibly the last time this summer. Enjoy, Debbie. All right, nice and dry. Now, I really didn't need to dry that off because I'm not using July again, but just kind of get in the habit to dry your stamps. I try to get in that habit of clean, put away, dry right away, just so they're ready to go next time. All right, so there is July. Now, what did I do with, oh, here we go. Next one is about last month. So let's put that here, about last month. That goes right under the line. Oh, I'll come back to this guy I'll come back to that little guy in a second, okay? I'm going to put about last month right here. And for about last month, I am going to use Kitsch Flamingo. I'm going to use Kitsch Flamingo. So that will just tuck right under that line. I also want to test this first. And the nice part about having tested it already here is that I can test actually what it's going to look like, because I can put that right under that test July. There we go. I think I like that color combination. I think that will look nice. So that one is ready to roll. I still have my pencil board under there. Really important. Want to make sure that pencil board is under there. There's enough going on the list that I did before it that it would make it lumpy bumpy. And if I tried to stamp on that, it would mess with that stamped impression, and I don't want that. All right, about last month. I'm gonna pull this a little bit more towards me so I can see it. And this will go right here. When we talk about stamping, a couple of tips that will make a huge difference. I always recommend that you stand when you are stamping. Andrea, you know what? I should trademark the all about last month. I should. In fact, I mean, you can go through a registration process, trademark versus copyright, and I don't remember which one is which. Can you put it? I don't remember which is which. Any lawyer friends out there can tell me. But you can prove maybe it's copyright if you have used it, if you show consistent use. So yeah, I should. I'm gonna look into that, Andrea. That's a great suggestion. All right, about last month goes there. And then I have 2023. I'm still gonna come back and talk about that in a minute, how I might fix that. All right, where's 2023? I just had it. It was just here, right? Didn't we just have it? Oh, there it is. It was hiding. It was hiding. Hi, Kristen. Nice to see you. Kristen said she is just joining to say hello. She's in Laguna Beach. Oh, what a beautiful spot. To Grammy sit while my daughter and her husband attend a wedding later this afternoon. Oh my goodness. The groom and 7 guests got stuck in the elevator for about an hour. Oh, talk about nerves, right? Oh, and good thing the groom had people with him. Could you imagine the groom's by himself in the elevator stuck? Yikes. All right, so we thought we'd use wild honey. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see. In this case, it's a little bit harder for me to do that because my block is so small. When it's smaller, sometimes I'll flip that and ink to stamp versus, or excuse me, stamp to ink versus ink to stamp. Okay, there's 2023. Let's see what we think right there. Oh yes, I like it. There we go. I think that will blend well with the little bird that we have already on that page. Okay, so that'll kind of pull in a little bit of the orange from here, and really no orange elsewhere, but it gives me a nice choice for a third color. Nice choice for a third color. My pencil board is still there. Let's rotate that. And we'll put that right there. Okay, there we go. July 2023, about last month. All right, let me get this cleaned off. And then we'll talk about a couple of things that you might do if you did not get a clear or a nice full stamped impression. Nothing wrong with it if you did not. It's just I like to have a nice full stamped impression on my stamp. So don't know where the top to that went, so we'll come back to that one. Okay, a couple things you can do. Number one, let me go to my little one of my little cabinets back here. I have not done this since I have my new room, so now I gotta find these things. So bear with me for 1 second. This will be a really good time for a hydration break. If you are not being hydrated, drinking water or something, now's a good time to take a little sip. Okay, well, we're almost there. Here we go. Oh yes, here we go. So now, all right, I've pulled out 2 things. Number 1, I could take a Q-tip. So let's do a little Q-tip, and I'm not going to do a Q-tip on this one, but I will show you over here. So let's pretend part of that wasn't filled in. I can take my little Q-tip, bring the ink back out, and put a little bit of ink on that Q-tip. Okay, I've inked up the Q-tip, and now I could come in here and very gently just kind of paint that in. Okay, so I can come in here and very gently just paint that in. So Q-tip works for that. Just by doing that, all right? That's one option. Now, one of you, I don't remember who, one of you suggested this, and I tried it, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This works super, super well. I took a very, very, very fine tip paintbrush, very, very fine. This is not where you'd use a paintbrush from like the dollar store, okay? So fine tip paintbrush, and I am going to, no water, I'm just going to get a little bit of ink on that paintbrush, Let's see, can you see that? Ink, a little bit of ink on that paintbrush. And then I can go in and paint part of that area in that I didn't quite get ink in all of the little spots, okay? So very fine paintbrush, and then I can just paint that in. The other thing I can do, so I'll just talk about this while I'm doing this. The other thing that I can do is if I am using Tim Holtz Distress Inks, I could pull out the watercolor crayons, not crowns, watercolor crayons. And with the watercolor crayons, I could kind of color those in a little bit. So this one wasn't bad. I may or may not have done this if you guys weren't here. I probably would have just said, oh, it's fine. But this is kind of a learning, teaching opportunity, so I might as well do it, right? So there we go. Looks good. I've got this one little place here where it's not quite filled in. Really fine, usually a really, really fine paintbrush because you want, well, you may have really fine places that you're trying to clean. And then I think I'll just use this. Let's see, Mary J said, I am not very good at stamping big stamps using my MISTI. So that's why I put the picks on the left stamp, picks on the left and stamp on the right side. Not as much bulk on that side and easier to use my pencil board. Aha, what Mary J is saying, where I put my photos here and I stamped over here, she would flip it. She'd have her photo here, she'd do her stamping here. Nothing has happened yet on these pages, so you have a little bit more of a flat surface. Might be a little bit easier to flip it like that. I love that suggestion, Mary G. Thanks for sharing that. All right, so there we go. That's ready to go. That's ready to go back. And we're ready to continue. All right, we're just about ready to start listing. What I need to do though is get my, ooh, that one's got to go in the garbage. That one's, get my black pen out. Ooh, that one is too. Eventually what happens, so I always use a Sharpie when I am doing my listing, when I'm doing any outlining, really anything I use a black pen for, it's a Sharpie. But your little Sharpies, after a while, the little nib starts to wear down, right? So I have a couple of Sharpies here where the nib is almost done. Hi, Debbie. Oh, Debbie. I also saw Debbie at the retreat this last weekend. So fun to see you, my friend. Oh, we had such a great conversation. I had lots of great conversations with many, many, many of you. Many, many, many people that were there, but also many of you guys that were there. So, Debbie, I hope that you and Trina and Annette had fun at your little after party, right? They went back to Debbie's house after the event and did a little bit more, I don't know, did you guys get anything done, Debbie? Did you guys scrapbook? Did you get anything done, or was it social and talking and chatting and stuff? Which is always good. You know, all the things are good. Just kind of that being together time. All right, so I did my little outlining. Now we are just about ready to start our listing. I need to find a bullet stamp. I can see my little bird's wing here is lifting a little bit, so let me get a little bit of my glue pen under there. We don't want the bird's wing to lift. All right, so we are now ready to start listing. I need my, where's my hand? Oh, there it is on the floor. And there's that. There's my handy dandy workbook. Oh, there it is, my handy dandy workbook. So I have all the things on my list for about last month. Let's get this guy put away. Hopefully this week, I'm really hoping this week to do a YouTube video, like the tour of my new studio, scrapbook room, crafting room, whatever you call the place where you work. So yes, I am hoping to do that this week. All right. Things on my list. Oh, I know what I needed. I need a bullet stamp. So I'm thinking I've pulled out Bullets and More too. Mary Tran said, do you keep a stock of this Sharpie since it's the main one you use in case they make them different? Yes, Mary, because I sell them on the website. So I have boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes. So hopefully they don't discontinue them. And if they do, then I'll either find a new pen or I will make them sold out on my website, then I'll have them. Right, yeah, I do buy them in bulk. Okay, so bullets and more too. When people start listing with me and they say, hey, I want to start listing and I want to get a couple of stamp sets, what do you recommend? The bullet stamp sets are right off the bat the ones that I recommend the most because I use the bullet stamp sets on almost every one of my lists. So there are 2 bullet stamp sets. There's Bullets and More, and there's Bullets and More 2. Bullets and More 2 has a lot of icons. So 70 some odd icons. What I thought would be fun, oh yeah, I thought I had one of these in here. I'm going to use a little tree because I have lots of little trees, well, trees here. So I will use the little tree. Now the little tree happens to be up in the little area kind of with the Christmas things. But in this case, it's not Christmas. It doesn't have little ornaments on it. It's just a basic little tree. Little tiny stamp, right? Look how small that is. And if I am trying to use that on a stamping block like that, or one like that, or even one little kind of smaller one like this, those are those new round acrylic stamping blocks that I have. Even that one is still kind of big, right? The other thing, if you are using the Bullets stamp set, so if I say you're just getting started, use the Bullets and More bullet stamp sets, you also need this little guy. This is the stamping stylus. So this is another one of my products. It is a 6-inch acrylic rod, okay, 6-inch acrylic piece that your hand is very comfortable with because it is the size and shape and length of a pen or pencil, right? So our hand is very comfortable with that. We're going to take that little stamp and we're going to put it on the end of that stylus. Ooh, where's the other one? Need the other one. I'll show you why. Yes, put it on the end of this other stylus because there's a little trick that Martine taught us that I want to show you. Okay, so Debbie, that reminds me, Debbie was there too, right? Debbie, you were at the retreat too. All right, so I put my little Christmas tree, but now I'm calling it a pine tree stamp on the end of the stylus. Now watch how easy. I think we better use the green. Okay, watch how easy. Here is my ink. Here's my little stamp on the stylus. Ink that up. And you can see all the times I've done this. Look at, there's a tree, there's a tree, there's a tree, there's a tree, there's a tree. It makes it so easy. Makes it so easy. So that will be the little stamp that I am going to use for my bullet stamp. Now, I had 2 styluses here, right? And you saw me, I put it on the first one. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to use that one. The only difference between these 2 is a little sticker that I added based on a recommendation from Martine, one of you guys, on how to, when you have a stamp, a bullet stamp that has a direction to it, right? This has a direction. If I stamp it that way, what if I accidentally don't realize and I turn that little guy and it is now, my little tree is like a tornado happened because it's flying everywhere. When I have a little bullet stamp and I want it to always stamp in the same position, Martine suggested, she did this in the Facebook group, that you put a little sticker at the end of your stylus, okay? So I put a little clear sticker there at the end of my stylus. And I lined up, let me line that up a little bit better. I lined up my stamp so that as long as I'm looking down this way and I can see that clear sticker, I know that my tree, in this case, my stamp is in the correct position to make sure that it's always facing the same direction, which I thought was a genius tip. Someone asked in one of the Saturdays, one of our live sessions, like, how do you make sure you do that correctly every time? And I'm like, gosh, that's a great question. I don't know. And then Martine thought about it and then posted in the Facebook group, hey, I think this would work really well. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's genius. So now, there we go. There's my little tree. And I'm just going to start now listing in run-on list form the things that kind of made up my July. We did a 4th of July house concert. Now, we didn't host that. We went to, someone else did that, but we went to their little house concert in their backyard on the 4th of July. Well, I think it was that Saturday, but that was a lot of fun. Jack and his girlfriend, Kat, came for a visit. They live in Tacoma, so they came for the holiday. So Jack is working towards becoming a chef. Just because you're cooking doesn't mean that you're a chef, I learned. So he's working towards becoming a chef. Works at a great farm-to-table restaurant in Tacoma called The Table. What is very cool about this restaurant, it's a young man that has a family that owns the restaurant. And because he wants to be able to spend time with his family in the summer, and he wants to be able to spend time with his family over Christmas, he shuts the restaurant a week in July and a week at Christmas. And guess what he does? He pays the employees, even though they're closed, which in the restaurant industry is like unheard of. So they came to visit us on his week off, which was so fun. We loved seeing them. We drove up Little Cottonwood Canyon to see the avalanche debris fields. There were crazy avalanches this year. The canyon up. Hi, Susan. Yes, Susan said, what a great employer. I know, right? We had crazy avalanches. Whoops, I wasn't paying too much attention there. Crazy avalanches this winter closed that canyon quite a bit. The canyon that's kind of, we're at the base of that canyon. And then we went to brunch. We had brunch. Well, we tried to have brunch and I got sick. And that was not very fun. I don't know what was going on, but I had to leave the restaurant. And Kat, his girlfriend, drove me home, and then did not have a very good experience. It wasn't the food because I hadn't eaten yet. I think I got car sick when we were going up and driving because I was in the back seat. The Bear. Speaking of restaurants, do you watch The Bear? Gabby, I don't know what that is. I do not know what that is. So then we had, let's see, dinner. I'm just going to say with the family at our house. So one of the photos, there we all are, not all of us, but many of us in the back, on our back patio. So, we see them maybe once or twice a year. So you have to have, people to come over when they're in town so you can see family. We went to the zoo. Jack and Kat wanted to go to the zoo. So the four of us went to the zoo. We did that on the 4th of July. That was fun. We ate at the Red Iguana. Very good Mexican restaurant here. Very authentic. Lots of different moles. Yum, yum, yum. So I'm just listing about things that happened in July. My sister and her, did that happen in July? Hang on. Let me look. Let me just look really quick. Maybe it was at the end of June. Hang on. I need to double check. Double check going back to the last month. No, I think they were. Oh yeah, they were. My sister Lainey and her husband Gus came to visit, and they were here part of the same time while Jack and Kat were. They live in South Dakota, so don't see them too often. Oh my gosh, lots of prep for the 3 Craft Chicks summer retreat. 425 people, 425 kits. So designing the project, kitting, I didn't kit them, Lily did, but kitting 425 kits, 425 make and takes. Yes, it was a lot. And then packing everything up. And then there's an on-site store there. And so then packing up a lot of my Lail by Mail product to ship up there. I met Michelle at Starbucks. So that was kind of a fun little treat. She was in town. Michelle owns 3 Craft Chicks with her daughter Lauren, and so she came to Utah. So we kind of had a nice little Starbucks and chat. We had dinner with our friends, Carrie and Karen, the Petrowskis. Oh my goodness, a big one for July was my new craft room. So if you haven't been here with me for a while, I had my craft room completely redone. Well, it wasn't really done before. I just had a bunch of mismatched IKEA stuff that I've been using probably for 20 years. And my whole business changed, obviously, during the pandemic. A lot of things changed during the pandemic, but prior to the pandemic, I had never taught an online class. Everything was in person. And prior to the pandemic, prior to that very first Saturday in March 21st, 2020, had never done a YouTube Live. I'd done YouTube before, but not a YouTube Live. So much of what I do is like this, that the way I had things set in here and all the different pieces of IKEA furniture, things just really weren't working for me anymore. So big business investment, but had this room completely redone, and that was so excited about that. And that's kind of a picture of the room. Let's see. Oh yes, Nick played in the Hook. It's a big golf tournament in July. He plays that every year. And we did the after party, which is a big concert and lots of food and just fun. So this type of documenting, this type of memory keeping, this type of scrapbooking, whatever it is a really great way for me just to get it all documented. A couple photos, a run-on list of what happened during the month, and there you go, done. So we did, oh yeah, Nick and I had a Sunday lunch date. So we went to lunch, Sunday lunch date at Slackwater. Then, then Costco and Trader Joe's. So some big things, right? Like, oh, Jack and his girlfriend Kat came to visit. Oh, my new scrapbook room, and then smaller things. Oh, we went out to lunch. So Nick traveled during the month to Ohio, Las Vegas, and Seattle. He does quite a bit of travel for his job. Oh, we had drinks. We had drinks with our neighbors, Walt and Ruth. They're so fun. They are. They're definitely. I mean, Walt probably maybe could be my mom's age, not quite. So they're older. But we have so much fun with them. They're wonderful people. Let's see. Oh yeah, Nick went to Denver too. I forgot that. We did, we did Pie and Beer Day. Pie and Beer Day with Carrie and Karen. So Pie and Beer Day is a little slang for a state holiday here in Utah called Pioneer Day. Pioneer Day is July 24th, and that is when the Mormon settlers came to Utah, so it's called Pioneer Day. But some of us don't celebrate that, so we celebrate Pie and Beer Day. So we went out to pizza, and we didn't have beer. We had wine, but pizza and wine for Pie and Beer Day. Then we did, so Amazon Prime. On Amazon Prime Day, I bought what did I call it down here? A bird feeder camera. A bird feeder camera. So basically it's a bird feeder that has a camera in it. And so it's motion activated. When the little birds come and eat out of the bird feeder, you can see them. So that's quite fun. It's quite fun. And then we, so Priest Lake at the end of the month with our friends, the Becks and Petrowskis. So 3 couples. The 3 guys were in the same fraternity in college. 2 of the 3 ladies, myself and my friend Sherry, same sorority in college. So we've had these friends forever and ever and ever. Well, 30 some odd years. Okay, so there we go. There is about last month for the month of July. I think one more thing that I will do, it seems like it's a little plain up here. So I have a couple of these little die cuts. I had a couple of these little, let's see. This little ladybug is sure cute, but probably not going to work just because it's red. I don't really have red anywhere, so I don't think I'll introduce a red color. But I need something about that size. So look at this little bug. Let's look. I have a little bug here. I could put a little bug. May seem kind of odd that I put a little bug there. I actually kind of like that. That little bug kind of brings in some of the color from down here. I would also have, oh yeah, see that's too big. That is too big. So it's going to be the little yellow bug. And I will use my little glue pen for that, and off we go. Ah. All right, so as I put that on there, we need to talk about our second prize. If you missed me at the beginning, I mentioned there were 3 really big prizes. 3 big prizes for today. Lisa said, awesome news. I am already registered for the 3 Craft Chicks November retreat. Oh, Lisa, you're going to love it. You're going to have so much fun. You will love it, love it, love it. You guys, if you're ever wondering, as I'm talking about like places I'm going or places I've been, you're like, what is she talking about? Like, how do I get more information on that? On my website, there is a page, a link right up at the top that says coming soon. Coming soon is a great source of information. Coming soon tells you what products are coming soon, tells you what project kits are coming soon. Also, about halfway down the page tells you where I will be coming soon. So whether they're in-person events or retreats or virtual events or retreats. So I have that everything there, so you always know about any of those events. So when Lisa's talking about the one for November, you'll see that there. You'll see the dates, the location, and then there's a link. You can click on the link and it will take you to whatever website it is to give you more information. So if you're wondering more about that, that's how you can find that information. All right, so I need to clean off my little guy. Always, 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 this is super important. Your little ones, your little bullets, you always want to clean those off right away and put them away because they're so small, they will run away from you, okay? The other thing that's a good habit to get into is the back of it. Wipe off the back of it because sometimes your stamps will get a little bit of lint or dust or dirt on the back of them. They won't stick. So you may be really good, you're coming back, you're putting it back on the sheet, but if there's dust or lint on the back of your little stamps, they won't stick to the sheet and then they'll run away. So put them back right away. Hi Brenda, nice to see you. All righty. Oh yes, so we were talking about prizes. So prizes giveaways for today. The first one I mentioned was all of the extra Sunkiss product from the little few things that I had used. That was the first prize. Second prize has to do with this. Has to do with about last month. And that is a 2023 year in review project kit. I still have a handful of these guys left. I want to say maybe 20 of these left. So they keep selling, but every month, I think what I've tried to do every month this year is anytime I do one of these, I give one of these, okay? So it is the whole project kit, all the color step-by-step instructions, and then the video class that goes with it. So even though we are getting to maybe the last quarter of 2023, you could still put it together. You could use it for a different year. You could use it for this year. So the way, again, that you participate in those giveaways is you leave a comment on the video when it's over. Aunt Recreate said, love the month in review. Debbie Watson said, I would love that. Hi, Deanna, nice to see you. And hi, Tabitha, nice to see you as well. Tabitha, I'm very sorry to hear about your dad. I saw that on Facebook the other day, and I meant to leave a comment, and I did not. So very, very sorry to hear about your dad. No, it's got to be so tough. Aunt Recreate said, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Didn't know that information was there. Yes, 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 yes. Coming soon. That's a great place to go visit and see what's coming soon. All right, friends, that was our first list. I think what I'm going to do, my next list, I am also using trail mix. So I think it makes sense to just roll right into that next list because I still have trail mix out. And then the last one we'll do is the follow-up to our list from 3 weeks ago, one of our lists from 3 weeks ago. So this one, I love to be outside. I spend a lot of time inside. There are days at a time, I'm admitting this, there are days at a time, you guys, I don't leave the house. On those days, it's not uncommon that I don't get like 14,000, 15,000 steps in the house. That is not on a treadmill. That is work. That is working, that's running up and down the stairs, that's filling orders, it's a lot. So there are days I don't leave the house. But when I do leave the house, I really like nature. And don't feel bad for me. It's not weeks and months at a time, but sometimes it'll be 2 or 3 days and it's like you have got to get out of the house. But love nature. And I started thinking about our trip to Priest Lake when I was in Spokane last week, and then even something that happened last night that was a great addition to my list because the topic was already picked. But basically, things about nature that stopped me in my tracks recently. Now, if you're not much of a nature person or you don't notice those kind of things, switch it up. It could be conversations that you've had with people. It could have been different things that you learned. It could have been food. It could have been books you read, shows you watched, anything like that. So basically something in the last, I don't know, you define the amount of time that stopped you in your tracks or really made you go, wow, and think and think and think. Okay, so that is what I'm doing, but about nature. Let's see. Mimi, hi Mimi. Mimi said, love this paper line. Thanks for playing with it. Debbie, that squirrel is perfect for you. I think Debbie's talking about the one that I showed you guys that I found in Coeur d'Alene. Aunt Recreates, OMG, I love the kit. Hi, Rosemary. You had a blast at the retreat. I love that. I love it, I love it, I love it. What line is Trail Mix? Trail Mix, that's the collection I'm using, and it's from Simple Stories. So you guys, as I am working with product every Saturday, in the description box of the video, you will see a link, and it says what I'm using. Click on that link, it takes you to my website, and you see all the products that I'm using. Now, all those I happen to sell on my website, so then you can see them and buy them, or just see them and you know what I'm using, or whatever you're looking for. But yeah, it is Trail Mix from Simple Stories, and it just makes me happy. Okay, so this, I love this one. Love this paper, The Great Outdoors. So I thought, well, guess what? This is going to be a 2-page list. This will be a great just decoration for one of the 2 pages, right? It's a spread. This will be great for one of the 2 sides of the spread. So this we need to trim. 99% of the time when I am working with product paper in my traveler's notebook, I am working with a 6x8 pad. So all the paper that you see that I've had out is from the Trail Mix 6x8 pad. The reason I use a 6x8 pad, 6 inches wide, 8 inches tall. The Traveler's Notebook inserts that I use are 5 inches wide by 8.25 inches tall. So I can just trim a little bit off, and it is the perfect size for working in my Traveler's Notebook. The other nice thing about working in a 6x8 space, hi Trisha, nice to see you. Trisha, I can't see your face. Oh, well, sorry. I just see your little picture on YouTube just says a T. But you were at the Retreat True this last weekend, right? Because I know I see your face. I'm just making sure it's the right name. But I'm pretty sure. Sat across from Rhonda, right? I think so. Okay. 6x8. Oh, yes. Another thing about 6x8 pad, and generally this is the same for any manufacturer that makes a 6x8 pad, or any manufacturer that is using or making a 6x6 pad. The papers in those smaller sizes are scaled down. This is a perfect example of this. This is a really fun pattern. It's like a little lake with trees or river. I guess it's more of a river than a lake. this pattern has been scaled down to this size. Yes, Trisha, I thought so. I can totally picture your beautiful hair in my mind. So I'm going to show you that paper, but in the 12 by 12 size. And if you're not aware of this, you'll see, oh my gosh, this now is totally why. I totally get this. Why I work with that smaller size so often. So let me find this. Okay, here we go. This is the 12 by 12 paper, right? See the scale? See how the 12 by 12 paper scale is so much bigger? That's important because if I want to use this pattern, but I'm using this 12 by 12 in my Traveler's Notebook and I cut it down, well, I don't get to see as much of the pattern because it's a larger scale. For the most part, anytime you're working in a 6 by 6 or a 6 by 8 pad, the pattern is scaled down. Now, what I just happened to pull this from was a collection pack from Trail Mix. And I had this here because I pulled it out of something larger. If you were not with me earlier, when I said I have 3 prizes today because we haven't been together for 3 weeks. And then I thought, well, we might as well have fun and make them 3 pretty big prizes. This is just part of the 3rd prize for today, you guys. This is the big bundle, okay? This is the big bundle. This is the 3rd prize for today. It is all of the stuff in the Trail Mix collection, okay? The 12 by 12 paper pack, the 6 by 8 pad, the washi, the stamps, all the die cuts, the sticker book, oh my gosh, the decorative brads, the washi, it's everything. Okay, so there we go. That's the 3rd prize. If you love a collection, any of the collections that I carry on the website, I've started doing this. I now do the big bundles, which gives you all the stuff. But you get all the stuff, and because you're buying all the stuff, then you get 15% off that bundle. So anyhow, that's a 3rd prize, you guys. So 3 really, really, really big prizes today. And the way that you participate in the prize is simple. All you have to do is leave a comment on the video when it's over. Not in the chat, but comment on the video when it's over. And then when we're together again, right before we start, I draw 3 random lucky winners and you win the prize. Okay. So I already know I want to use this paper. Now I have to trim this down, okay? It's too wide. 6 inches, this is 5 inches, I need to trim it down. Terry said, I so need this line for all your cabin photos. I know, it's so fun, it's so good. Where's my trimmer? Can I use this one? I can. All right, I don't need to trim the length because it is 8 inches tall and my insert is 8.25, but that tells me I want to trim this to 4 3/4 wide. This is a 1/4 inch shorter than my insert, so I would like this width to be a 1/4 inch less wide than my insert. So I need it to be 4 3/4. So if I trim off, I always do this weird. If I trim off a 1/2 plus 2, woo, barely, it fits. And then I trim off a 1/2 plus 2. That is now 4 3/4. And I want to trim from both sides, right? Because I'd like for that nice little pattern to be even. Perfect, it fits perfectly. All right, so let's see now. Ooh, I have an idea. That's the back side, okay? That's the back side. Maybe, I don't know. But I think what I want to, well, we'll see, we'll see. Maybe what I will do here, maybe I will switch things up a little bit and I will put this over on the left side because usually I am doing, it's just a habit I get in, usually have all the decorative stuff on the right and then my list on the left. I don't know why I do that. Oh, I switched that one up. So let's switch it up. We will put that on this side. We'll do our list over here. I need to round the corners. So I'm going to grab my corner rounder. Oh, I love it when things are exactly where I put them away. It's just so special. I was thinking I hadn't seen Reggie in a while, but here he is. Hi, Reg. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. It was nice. So if you missed the beginning, we have Sam's cat. Sam had a cat. Sam moved in with some roommates, and one of the roommates very allergic to cats. So we are temporarily, permanently, I don't know, having Sam's cat. Well, Nick and I were both out of town last week, and the agreement with Sam was when we're gone, he has to come stay over because it's not fair to the cat. So he came over last Friday. That was his first time that Reggie was here. Well, Reggie always comes to visit, so Reggie was used to our house because Sam would throw him in the car and bring him. And when I say throw him in the car, not in a carrier or anything. Reggie's more like a dog than a cat. So Reggie was used to the house because he's been visiting for about a year. But Sam stayed here. Oh my gosh, a week. Well, a week. Yeah, he stayed here a week with Reggie. So Reggie's very accustomed to the house now. So that's good. But he was just coming in to see me. Now he's sitting outside the windows. Hi. Hi, buddy. Oh, he's so cute. He is so cute. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Hi, Kelly. Nice to see you. Okay, so now, as I get deeper and deeper and deeper into my insert, Pamela asked, do I use the 1-inch or 1/2-inch corner rounder? This particular corner rounder is from Ikea Success. There are 2 to a package. These I have on my website. One is 1-inch and one is a 1/2-inch. I prefer the 1-inch. I don't know why, but that's the one I use. But they do come 2 to a pack. One is 1/2-inch and one is 1-inch. Terry said, Lael and Nick have a cat that Sam gets visiting rights to. I know, isn't that funny? But Sam, he's so funny. He'd run out of treats for Reggie. So he picked him up yesterday, and Nick and I just picked Nick up from the airport and we went out to dinner, and we're talking to Sam on the way home, and Sam's like, okay, I got the treats, but here's the deal. Reggie likes to eat at 6 a.m. because that's when I get up. So he likes to eat at 6 a.m. and then after he eats, he gets 2 treats. And then in the middle of the day, he can have 3 treats because they're little tiny treats. And then at night, he eats again. But he's used to eating around 4:30 or 5 because that's when I usually feed him because that's when I'm home for work. And then after, right before he goes to bed, he can have 2 more treats. So it's so funny. It's like a little baby, and he's telling us, how to take care of it, which is good. All right. Before I got sidetracked and squirreled there, the deeper and deeper I get into an insert, the more stuff has happened, right? So you start to get this little curve or bend. It's really important to me when I am adhering something there that I make sure to get adhesive all along that edge where it's going to meet the bend, because I don't want that bend, I don't want that edge of that paper to lift. So in that case, I use double-sided tape. Let's grab that. I use double-sided tape. I have a couple different brands of double-sided tape on. Ooh, that one is so old. That's funny. Look at, this is not one I sell. This has been in my stash for a long time. Look at it. That one is so old. It is like paper. I'm going to get rid of that one. When I was putting everything away, I guess I didn't test all of my product to make sure it was still good. All right, here we go. We'll use it, actually, let's use this little one. All right. This one is pretty thin. This is a quarter inch, 1/8 inch. All I'm going to do is run a bead, but it's not really a bead, strip, I guess, double-sided tape along that edge, right along that edge, because I want that to stick really, really well. And your double-sided tape is pretty sticky. Well, I might as well do all the edges, I guess. Double-sided tape is super sticky, so that will make sure that those edges don't lift because of the bend. There's a little trick I will share with you that my friend Joey taught me. Joey, I've known Joey for many years. She works at, what is going on there? She works at, I lost my tape there, I think. Hang on. She works at Photoplay. What? I've separated. Hang on. She works at Photoplay Paper, and she taught me this, so I'm going to share her wisdom with you. All right, there we go. All right. Lost a little bit of that there, so there we go. When you're working with double-sided tape, there's one thing that you can do to make life so much easier on yourself. Instead of pulling back all of the protective, little strip, I am just going to peel back a little bit. So peel back a little bit like that, and that little piece that I peeled back is facing the outside. I will do that same thing here. That little piece I peeled back is facing the outside, not the inside. And I'll do the same thing here. Okay, and then need to peel back a little of this. The reason why you do that is you have a little bit of adhesive revealed, not all of it, just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. So the nice thing about having just a little bit revealed is gives me some wiggle room. If I had all of that revealed, I have basically one shot to get that down and to get it straight. But because I've left a lot of the protective little backing or whatever it is that normally you peel off, because I've left that so that the tape is not, the sticky part is not exposed, I have some wiggle room. I can kind of move this around until I get it where I want it. I think that looks pretty good. I get it where I want it. Then I press and pull. Okay, so press down on the part that was revealed and pull out that little piece. So press down there and pull that out. That gives me that wiggle room. And if you have worked with double-sided tape before, you know how important that wiggle room is, because I never can get it straight the first time. Okay, there we go. Let me look here really quick, friends. Sandy said, morning, Lael. So disappointed I won't be able to take your classes at Firefly Farm in September. I'm off to a family wedding in Indianapolis. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Sandy. Maybe next time. But enjoy the wedding. Yep, family is priority, right? Peggy. Hi, Peggy. Hi, everyone jumping in late. Lael, you were working on stamping. Can you please tell me if the oxides come in the mini stamp pads, please, or anyone that might know? Thank you. Peggy, that's a great question. The oxides do not come in the mini version, okay? The distress inks come in a mini version, you know, like the little 1.25 by 1.25 cube. The distress oxides do not. It's something about the formulation of the oxide, that pigment ink, that does not translate. It does not work well in a mini size. And I don't know why. I just know that's why Ranger doesn't do mini distress oxides. You only see the mini distress inks. That is a great question. Rosemary said the corner rounders are easy to travel with. Absolutely, they totally are. Kristen, do you know how far in advance they let us know about upcoming events? Kristen, it depends. It depends on who it is. So for example, right now, 3 Craft Chicks, it's scheduled through November of 2024. So if you go to that coming soon page on my website, you will see those 3 events for 2024 already there. There's one in April, there's one in August, and there is one in November. It depends on who's hosting the event or the retreat. So as soon as they tell me that it's public, then I add it to that page on my website. Okay, so there we go. Next up, we have this side. And, oh, Reggie's sitting on my desk. He is sitting right in front of you guys. Let me have a quick hydration break, okay? All right, this side. I will do my list here, but I'm not going to do it directly on the page. I'd like to incorporate some more pattern over here. So I could do that. That will give lots of color. Now, you won't really see much of that because, excuse me, you won't really see much of that because I will end up, doing white on top of that. But that would be nice. This color, that doesn't really match. I just pulled out, ooh, okay. I like that, but that's far too much yellow between the two. This piece of paper, I love, 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 love so much. I wish I had a dress in that. I just love the colors and the flowers in that, but doesn't go with this. So I'll use that for something else. This could work, right? That could totally work, but I really think I'm still liking this. I'm liking how the kind of colors work together, even though I really won't be able to see much of that because it'll be covered up. I just pulled out some other fun patterns there, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. Now, when we start talking about the diversity of this line, look at all that. That has nothing to do with nature, right? Just really fun patterns to play with. Get a little bit more of the camping stuff on the back side, but I think this is what that's going to be. So another 6x8 paper. I need to trim that one to 4 3/4. And I trim it to 4 3/4 because, again, this is 8. My insert's 8.25. So I would like to have that same kind of scale, that same amount of weight space all the way around that I had over here. Round the outside right corners, like that. Let's see. Mitzi said, when you do your classes in person, do you do listing or do you other projects? Other projects, Mitzi, other projects. So usually mini book projects. That's usually what I'm teaching when I am teaching in person. The listing is a little bit, it's really harder to do, like as a class. Because, well, I mean, I guess everyone could have the same product, but a little bit harder to do as a class. So I've never done, well, I shouldn't say never. If I am doing, sometimes I'll do a traveler's notebook class in person, but listing is not part of it. We're doing other things in class with traveler's notebooks, but not doing listing. Let's see. Hi Karen, finished 2 pages already. Need to print some pictures, but we all know how that goes. Yes, Karen generally struggles with her printer, or her printer struggles with Karen, depending on which way you look at it. Hi Nancy, early Sunday morning in New Zealand. I love it. I love it that you're joining us from New Zealand, Nancy. And happy Sunday to you. Okay. So there's the base of my spread, and I need some white cardstock because I will do my list on white cardstock. So let's get some of that out. The white cardstock that I use is a Nina Bright White. I buy it on Amazon in like reams of 250 sheets because I use it for a lot of things. I use it for my listing. I use it for printables that I might include in a kit or something like that. And I use it also for doing my swatches. Here's a little tip. Sometimes people will ask me what I use here for my swatches, what kind of paper. Whatever kind of paper you're using for your swatches should be the same type of paper or cardstock that you're stamping on, because that will give you a really good feel for what it looks like. Not all cardstock is created equal, right? If you have a cardstock that has any texture to it at all, any texture, it will play, maybe sometimes good, maybe sometimes not so good, with your stamped impression. So I might always use the same type of cardstock. It is linked in 2 different ways in the description box of the video. So it's linked on Amazon, but 250 sheets. After some requests, I have brought that into my website. Actually, let me grab a different trimmer. I have brought it into my website, I think in 25 sheet packs. So, but that's what I use, a Nina Bright White. Flat, nice thickness, but flat, no texture at all. All right, so what I'm going to do, they're 8.5 by 11. As you can see, 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 11 size, whoops. Works very well for your traveler's notebooks because 8.5 and traveler's notebook is 8 1/4. At least the ones I use. So I am going to trim this to 7 3/4. Okay, there you go. Now I can get 2 bases for my lists out of that, right? Trim it to 7 3/4, and then I think I would like this to be. I don't remember what I normally do here. Let's just see. 4. All right, that's not it because it is way too tall. So it's 4 inches wide, and that would have been 4 3/4. So I took 3/4 off. This needs to be 7 1/4. I just had to do some quick math in my head there. So that is 7 1/4, if you're wondering, by 4. And then that will give me nice even border all the way around, like that. All right, now it's pretty stark, right? That white piece of paper is pretty stark. So that's not quite what how I want to use it yet. I need to bring in a little bit of color. And I think I am going to, before I decide what color I bring in, I want to, what you doing, Reg? What are you doing? I want to bring in a die cut. Oh, yes. I wanted to bring in that die cut. I thought that might be kind of fun to do somewhere along in here. Now, Now that I see that, I have this and I have this, so I don't like that as much. What if this comes down here maybe? What if this comes down here? Meh, because now I have title up here and something down here. What I was going to do, I was thinking I would put this up here and then I would write my title, like things that stopped me in my tracks or something like that. But here's the thing, this, because I have this big title up here, I don't feel like this is really going to work anywhere. Unless, so I kind of have this, I have this up here, this up here. In order to make this work, I need to create a visual triangle. So I need something up here. And then this won't look so funny down here, but it looks kind of funny because I have top and bottom. We need to have a visual triangle. So I'm missing something right there. Let's see what we might use. Let's just kind of start filling this out to see what we might work. What might work. Now, that works here because it brings in the colors. But now I've created another problem, right? I've created another problem because I have kind of a lot of pink. I haven't brought in any pink over here. So for me, in order for that to work, I need to bring in some pink over here. So I need to see if I have something that might work to bring the pink in. Oh, I know what I need to grab. Hang on. Bear with me 1 second. Two new products. Oh goodness, we have a visitor. Reggie. I'll wait until you guys can see him. I don't think you can see him yet. Reggie. Excuse me. Excuse me. What are you doing? You guys see him? There he is. There's a paw. There's a paw. Oh, there's a head. All right, can we get down, buddy? Can we get down? Yeah, let's get down, bud. Okay, there you go. Let's get down. That was funny. Love the Great Outdoors paper on the left. I know, isn't that fun? I love it. That's so fun, Nancy. Now, where was I? Oh, I know where I was. Did you notice I kept like holding this down? I brought there's two new products that I've added to the website within the last week or two. These big clips. So if I clip that, and they're pretty sturdy. The silver one is super sturdy. Now that helps to hold that down. The gold one, let's check the gold one. Gold one, not as sturdy, but oh yeah, that will still hold that down. That makes it much easier for me to work with. All right, so if we're thinking maybe that goes there, we're thinking maybe that goes there, I need to bring in a little bit more pink. Let's see if I can find something that might work over here with the pink. So I have the sticker book. Let's grab the sticker book and see if we might find something in there. Ah, look at maybe a little bird. Let's look. There's the bird. There's a little tent. If I put a little tent over here, that might work, right? Bird or tent would help bring in that color. Oh, those are fun alphas. Super fun alpha. Lots of pink in those circles. I could maybe bring in one of those, maybe. Let's see. Ooh, some labels. Maybe I could use pink label. Lots of options. Oh, well, I could use really any of the pink words. Okay, we'll just make sure we've got all of our options set. Ooh, those are fun. Look at, they're like little badges. Do you guys remember? Did you ever make things like that with the little safety pins, and you'd put little beads on the safety pin? Some badges. Oh, another fun alpha. All right, some flower. Ooh, okay, I already know one that I want to use. Hats, friendship bracelets, more banners. All right, just checking out all my options. Well, that would be fun. There's kind of a moth. All right, I think, let's see. So I just saw this little sticker. This, I love this. Let's see if we could bring this one in. Let's see if we could bring this one in. Kristen, if we are a winner, how are we notified? I reply to your comment. You leave a comment on YouTube and I reply to your comment. And then you should receive an email. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Let's see if that works there. Maybe. That could maybe work there to get a little pink in. I reply to your comment, and you should receive an email from YouTube because I replied to your comment. Now, I'm not sure if that's something you have to turn on in YouTube or not. So you may need to look at that, because I know that some people get the email because then they reply to the email, but then other people I never hear from, so I'm not sure why. All right, we have this little bird. We could bring in the little bird, although the bird is rather large, isn't it? The bird is rather large. Yeah, I don't think we're going to use the bird. All right, what were the other fun things I was thinking I could bring in? That brings in a little bit, but not a whole lot, right? There's not a whole lot there. This guy, I don't know. This guy could work here maybe. Let's just see. What if we do that? Maybe what if we put this guy over here, like so? That works. That just brings a little bit of pink, right? A little bit of pink. I think that will work, but I think I might want to bring this down just a tad, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp, I think I'm going to stamp the date in there. I'll stamp the date in there. And then that little pink thing can go there. Right? Okay. Still think we need a little bit more pink, maybe right up in here. We'll figure it out. We'll figure that part out later. Okay. Now, I need to help bring those two together just a little bit more. And because this is so stark, the way I'm going to bring those two pages together a little bit more is I'm going to ink around the edges of that white cardstock. And so I need to grab my swatches and let's see what I might want to use. Now, if I use the pink, I think the pink is just going to be a little bit too much. It's a lot of pink here. So I don't think I'll use a pink. Maybe that one. Or I could use the color of the waterfall, right? I don't know. That might be a little bit of a stretch. I bet the color of the waterfall is probably that cracked pistachio. So let's look. Cracked pistachio. That's pretty close. We could do cracked pistachio. This one, I don't know. That's a very different color. I don't even know what we'd call that color. Shabby Shutters is kind of close, right? Shabby Shutters. Crushed Olive. I don't know, maybe Crushed Olive. Peeled Paint would bring in a little bit of a darker. I don't even know. Let's see what we want to do. Let's look for, what did I say? Peeled Paint, Shabby Shutters, Crushed Olive. Maybe Fossilized Amber? Let's look at those. Okay, let's look at those. Actually, let me move these. We'll look at those guys. And I can take this little guy, okay? I'm gonna just test a couple of those to see what color I think I might like. To do this, I need this and that and this one. All right, so what I have here, this is how I store my little foam blenders, okay? So there's my foam blending tool. Let's do this one. There's my foam blending tool. Wait a minute. And my little blenders. So these are little storage solutions that I have on the website. They include the little case. They include 2 sheets. And there are different ink options. So it could say Distress Oxide, it could say Distress Ink, it could say Gina K, it could say Stamp Market. There are a number of different little printed sheets. Then it includes 42 punch circles and then 40 little Velcro pieces. So the whole idea is you take all your little tops, your little foam blending pieces that you've used, the different colors, and you're kind of swatching them, right? Similar to what we did here, but it's a different tool, so you need to do it in a different way. So if I was thinking, where were we? That one. I need over here. Nope, not here. Where are they? Fossilized Amber. let's take a look at fossilized amber, but I think that might be too yellow. So I pull that off. I know it went there because I also I pressed the color there, labeled it fossilized amber, and then that's where I put the little Velcro thing. So the little storage cases are sold separately, and then you can also buy the little foam blenders and then also the tool. So this one is fossilized amber, and it's important that you know which ones you have, because if I had used mustard seed on that and then I didn't know what it was and I went to use fossilized amber, what I'm going to get is not going to be what I think, because it's just now a blend of two different colors. Okay, let's see. That going there, that could work, right? I don't know, that's probably a lot brighter and more fun. Let's see that one. Shabby shutters. I feel like if we start getting in this, we could try peeled paint, but I feel like if we start getting into peeled paint, that's going to be pretty, that might be really dark. Might be really dark. Actually, I think that's the one it is. I think it's peeled paint. That's the one we're going with, so we don't even need to go any further. We don't need to go any further. So I'm going to pull this off. And I like to pull them off with my tweezers, because I don't like to get my hands inky. Probably why I do not do mixed media. I don't like to get my hands inky. And that just goes right down there. And then I want to make sure to clean that off because I got ink on it. All right. Oh, my stomach is starting to growl. It is starting to growl. All right. Oh, where to go? Okay, here we go. So, inking the edges. I am going to ink the edges of the white cardstock, because that will help make it so it's not so stark, right? Not so stark. And when I'm doing that, I didn't quite get that on straight. Hang on. Let me pull that back off and get it on. You don't have to use tweezers, obviously, but if you're like me and you don't like to get your fingers all inky, then tweezers help with that. Okay. Clean that off again. You want to make sure and clean it off, because the next time you go to pick something up with your tweezers, it will be that color. All right, so I am taking my little peeled paint blender, attached it to the blending tool, just kind of going in a circular motion to deposit some of the ink on that blending, or the foam. And I'm just inking the edges. So that is going to help soften that, so it's not so stark, right? Just inking the edges, so easy. This is a domed top. There are also flat tops. The problem with the flat top is the edges are sharp. Now, obviously it's foam, so they're not sharp, like pointy sharp, but the edges are sharp. So I find that when I am using one with sharp edges, a lot of times it will make an edge, like it will make that edge on whatever I'm trying to blend. Like when I'm just trying to, ink the edges of that, if that makes any sense. It may not. You're probably like, what the heck are you talking about, Lael? Anyhow, foam, or domed foam blending tool. That's a mouthful. All right, so that was peeled paint. All right, see, now look at that. That just like softens that, and it's almost like if I had peeled paint colored cardstock, that it is all kind of, it's almost like I matted it, right? It's almost like I put a mat behind that, that paper. It's a really easy way to always have a mat, right? Even though it's not a mat, but a mat of the color that you need, because you are stamping it. All right, let's get these guys put away, and then we'll keep going. So, if you were doing this list with me, what is something that like stopped you in your tracks this past week or month? It could be something from nature, it could be a book, something you read in a book, something that you saw, that you ate, a conversation that you had with someone, just something that really made you go, holy cow, like stop and take notice. Or stop and think notice. I feel a headache coming on. That is no good. All right, let's go ahead and adhere this. Let's go ahead and adhere this down. I think I missed lots in the chat while I was doing all of that. Oh yes, talking about friendship pins, weren't those so fun? Well, kind of like with Taylor Swift in her tour that she's doing, and all the little bracelets people are doing and trading. It's so fun. Collected friendship pins on our shoelaces. That's so fun. I should stop using the word fun. Ooh, my eyes just went a little blurry there. That was weird. All right, yeah, so tell me something that if you are listing with me, that would be on your list. But guess what? If you're not listing with me, still tell me. What would be something that would be on your list? Do I carry peeled paint? Oh, Terry, I don't know. That's a good question. I might not, right? Maybe I don't carry peeled paint. I'm not sure. I can. That's easy. I just keep adding colors, because usually what happens is I use something and someone's like, do you have that? And I go, oh. Well, no, yeah, I don't want that there. Let's talk about why I don't want that there. I was thinking I could use this like faux washi. That's just one of the strips of paper that I cut off when I was cutting that. I don't like that there because I have this here. So it's too much that and then that. So it's just gonna be plain there at the bottom. Pull that back out. All right, we better do some outlining because I find that things look really odd to me when they're not outlined, and sometimes it throws me for a little bit of a loop. So I will come in and do my outlining. There we go. That always has to be outlined. And then I will even come in and outline the perimeter of the spread. Need to pop that though, so I can get that outlined. Put that back down. Makes it so much easier to work without that popping open on me. So perimeter, then I will continue here. All right. Oh yes, we were going to put this here, right? This guy was going to go up here. But you know what? I think we had, didn't we have like a big moth. I thought like a pink moth maybe, right? We have a pink moth. Let's see. I thought so. Oh yes, we do. Okay, maybe I would rather have, let's look. This little guy, I don't know, it might be too small. I think we might be a little bit too small up here. Although, what if, oh, okay, hang on, we're just thinking. We're looking to see what we have and thinking, because look at, I have that little tiny butterfly, and that would be a way I could get a little bit more pink over on this other side with the little tiny butterfly. So what if the little tiny butterfly is, okay, I would really like to put it there, but I'm not going to put it there because look we have this like weird line here, right? We have this weird line. So I think we'll put it, how about if we put it right there? A little bit further over. Let's put it maybe like about right there. So we get just a little bit more pink there. All right. Other thing I'm going to do is very carefully outline that sun. I feel like it just needs to stand out a little bit more. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I think we're back to the flowers just because we need something a little larger to go up there. All right, kind of have a whole bunch going on. We have our triangle going here, and then we kind of have this weird little thing going on here, but that's all right. That's okay. This will probably be one that I finish and then walk away, and then tomorrow pick back up and go, oh, I know, if I add that right there, then that will work. All right, so now I need to do my title. And I think for my title, I'm just going to write it. I am just going to write it. Mrs. Allen, if someone is a winner, how long do they have to claim their prize? Well, that's a good question. There really isn't a limit, but if it's like a year later, it's probably just, I mean, if I still have it, if I still have the product, then it works. But yeah. So I would say if you win a prize, it's a good idea to jump on it pretty quickly. Gabby, my dogs always stop me in my tracks. Always. You have 2 Frenchies. How cute. So right, it could be your dogs. It could be something that your dogs did. Things that your dogs did this week that stopped you in your tracks. It could be kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews. If you're a teacher, it could be students. It could be something that you read. Maybe you're reading a really great book and there were a couple of quotes in there that really stopped you in your tracks as you were reading. Pat Myers, for the good side, the deer in the field, even though they were playing havoc with our garden. Oh, Pat. On the not so good side, the large snake at the top of the steps one evening, right? Both of those things could stop you in your tracks, but totally different ways. Are there any hummingbirds in this line? So, you know what? I don't believe so. I don't believe there are hummingbirds in this line, but that also reminded me of something. One of these moths will be somewhere in here. One of these moths has to be somewhere in here because that reminded me, one of the things on my list is something that I've never seen before that we saw last night. Maybe this guy. I think maybe we need a little bit bigger. We're gonna swap this out. That's not a butterfly. I'm pretty sure that's a moth. All right, I'm gonna put this down and then we're gonna start our listing. Got to get a title and then we'll move. There we go, that just kind of bleeds right over to the side. A little bit better. Maybe this guy is over here a little bit. No, too much. Okay, let's go. My title. Let's see, we're just gonna do it. Things that stopped me in my tracks recently. Okay, now I need to make a little line here just to kind of separate this title from the rest of my list. Since it's in my handwriting, I need to make sure I've got something there that separates a little bit. And maybe we'll do 2 little lines. Just 2 little lines. There we go. Okay, things that stopped me in my tracks recently. And now I can do my list. Now, I need to look at my list to see what I have and see if this needs to be some kind of run-on. I think it's probably going to be a run-on list. And, sorry, I was thinking of something. A run-on list, look at, this is what my list looked like to start, my little sketch. Right? Looks pretty close. We flipped it and nature moved. Okay, I think this will be another run-on list. I think I might use we might just go back to peeled paint. We might go back to peeled paint, and I need a bullet stamp. So let's see. We'll go back to bullets and more too. Let me look at the chat here really quick. Watching my husband feed the deer apples from the porch. Oh, I love that, Pamela. How fun, right? Sometimes we just have to stop and recognize that things are pretty amazing, right? Nature, what you read, a conversation you had with someone, whatever it is. All right, so I could do this little, how about if I do this? On this one, I have a little butterfly. Why don't we use a little butterfly? There's a little butterfly. Put these back in here, grab my stylus. I need to make sure I grab the stylus that still has the sticker on it. Oh, Carmen had a sandhill crane looking over my shoulder as I was getting something out of the car. I turned around and could have pet it in Florida. Wow, but that was amazing. All right, so I'm gonna line it up so it's in line with that little sticker that I added after the fact, so I always know that that's in the right direction. Now, I don't know, maybe we need to bring in, I was going to use peeled paint. Let's look. Okay, peeled paint, we'll just bring it over here and look. Peeled paint. would be nice. Or maybe we want a little pink. Let's see. So we pull in a little bit more pink. Let's look for, I think that Kitsch Flamingo might be a little bit too bright. Let's see what we end up with here. Tattered Rose, not pink enough. Spun Sugar. Spun Sugar could work. Saltwater Taffy, that's pretty bright. Kitsch Flamingo's pretty bright. Let's look at Kitsch Flamingo. We still have that out from when we used it on our last list. Let's see if we like that one. Okay, Kitsch Flamingo is going to be pretty bright. I think that's going to be too bright. I think we're going to use peeled paint. I think I'm going back to peeled paint. Back to peeled paint. We liked it before. We'll like it again. Okay, things that stopped me in my tracks recently. And then we're assuming that it's related to nature because we have outdoors here and we have nature here. So I'm starting with last night. Even though when I set out to do this list on Thursday, this had not happened yet. I have never in my life seen something called a hummingbird moth. Have you ever seen a hummingbird moth? They're very large. They're, I don't know, maybe about this big. So maybe about an inch and a half-ish, inch and a half. They're very large and their wings flutter very quickly. And then they have, you couldn't see it, but they have like a little sensor. I don't know, a little part of their, like, looks like a string, but really narrow. I don't know. I'm not up on my moth anatomy. That they will go to a flower just like a hummingbird will, and they will get the pollen or whatever they're getting out of the flower like a hummingbird does. But a hummingbird moth, so cool. Hummingbird moth. Lisa. Yeah, Ikea. It's like a $5 mat from Ikea. Terry turned me onto that. Terry turned a lot of us onto that, right? Shanna, that is called a stamping stylus. So that is one of the products on my website. One of my products, it's a stamping stylus. You will see it linked in the description box of the video. There's a link that says what I'm using, and that'll take you to all the stuff I'm using on my website. Neither, Lisa, it is plastic. It's like a bendable plastic, which makes it really nice because it's not heavy and doesn't scratch and clean off easily. Oh, Debbie said, gorgeous layout. I just might have to get the pad and stickers you are using. I think it's beautiful. It's a really fun collection. Let's see. Proboscis, is that what it's called, Tracy? Proboscis. I Googled it because I'm like, what the heck is that? And I Googled hummingbird moth and then it had a special name. What's very interesting, apparently they are the moths from Silence of the Lambs. So if you think of Silence of the Lambs and you think of like that movie poster, those are the moths, hummingbird moth, a proboscis maybe. Silence of the Lambs. Tabitha said, she said, oh my, Lael, I saw one of these for the first time this week too. All right, so we saw a hummingbird moth for the first time. It was flying around the yard and in the flowers. Okay, it was just very cool. But it flutters its wings like so fast, like a hummingbird. Just was very fascinated by that. Had never seen a hummingbird and moth, and they say that they're fairly rare. Well, that's what Google said. So they say fairly rare. Not rare, but you don't see them quite often. That often. Okay, so the beautiful Spokane Falls. We took the gondola tram. I don't remember what it's called. Gondola? We took the gondola ride I guess to the bottom and back up. Okay, so this is now not turning into a bulleted list. It is turning more into a list, which that totally works too. Now, some of you, if you were at the Three Crafts Chicks retreat this past weekend, you may have done that same thing because the hotel, the Centennial Hotel, was right near the Spokane Falls. Oh my goodness, they're beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, Spokane Falls. Let's see. Oh, I mentioned this earlier. Watching the tiny finches eating via our new bird feeder camera. So I mentioned that earlier that that's one of the things I picked up Amazon Prime Day. I'd been looking at them for a while. Well, not really looking at them. I just thought that they looked like they'd be really fun, the bird feeder cameras. And so really enjoyed watching the little tiny finches. So these little finches that we have all over our yard that are red or yellow or blue. Every once in a while we get a blue one. We don't see them as often, but it's really fun. They go to the little bird feeder and there's a little camera in there and then you can watch them. So that was been fun. Let's see. Another one, forest bathing. Forest bathing with Sherry and Karen at Priest Lake. So forest bathing, you're not like taking a shower or a bath in the forest. There's a whole concept of like going into the forest and really paying attention to what's around you and your surroundings. It's in a very, very short explanation. But my friend Sherry, they're the ones that have the cabin there. She enjoys that very much, this forest bathing and anyhow, noticing nature. And so when we were there the end of July, we did that. I had not done that before and it was very neat. It really was a neat experience. So forest bathing. Let's see. Seeing the pink part of the Great Salt Lake while flying over. Okay, Great Salt Lake. There is a bacteria in parts of the Great Salt Lake, just like you'd have bacteria in any lake. I don't remember what it's called, but that will turn the water pink. It turns the water pink. And it's very bizarre. It's not the whole Great Salt Lake, but you'll just see, you're flying over and you'll just see these patches that it's like pinkish, reddish color. And it's very cool to see because it's just the bacteria. But seeing that as I flew over, and I saw that as I was flying to Spokane, that was very cool. The pink part of the Great Salt Lake. And I guess it changes a lot because it's wherever the bacteria are, right? Carmen said, I saw a hummingbird just sit and perch on a branch and chill. Oh, very cool. Tracy said, proboscis is the little tongue sensor thing they get the pollen with. Oh, I get it, the pollen with. The proboscis is not the type of moth it is. It's that little sensor thing. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, Carmen, I love that. Carmen said, I don't have this collection. So she used the painting scene in flea market. Oh my good, that'd be so fun, Carmen. Okay, Carmen, you guys always see what I do. I don't get to see what you do. So when we're done, post it in the Facebook group. Post it in the Lail by Mail Facebook group because I would love to see what your list looks like. That's a great idea. That's a really great idea. Terry said the hummingbirds at the cabin have discovered the cameras and now come to the cameras to tell me their feeders are empty. I adore these little creatures. I love, love, love hummingbirds too, Terry. I'm convinced we have one, and I'm convinced because they're very territorial that he has that he has alienated all the rest of the hummingbirds, so they don't come to our backyard, only one, and his name is Howard. And Howard does the same thing. He will come right up to our sliding glass door and he will sit there like, hello, dummies. He's not out yet, but I think he's getting close to being out. This morning, Reggie, the cat, was sitting in the windowsill and looking out, and Howard, the hummingbird, flew up to the window and they were like communicating with each other. So you're like, oh my gosh, like what's happening? What are these animals doing? So that was kind of cool. Tracy, did I get a photo for your out the window traveler's notebook? You bet I did. You bet I did. Yes, absolutely. So that will be in an out the window. I am way behind on my out the window. I'll catch up. At some point, I will catch up. The photos are taken, that's what matters, right? Okay, what else do we have? What else do we have? Another one. Stargazing on Priest Lake. There are lots of amazing things, Priest Lake, but stargazing was wonderful because you have very little light pollution there. Very, very, very little light pollution. And light pollution makes it difficult to see the stars, right? There's too much light from surrounding land. It makes it really difficult to see the stars. Very little light pollution at Priest Lake, so it makes it much easier. We also saw a bald eagle sighting at Upper Priest Lake. Always love seeing a bald eagle. It just is, I don't know. It's pretty magical. I think it's pretty magical when you see a big bald eagle. Mitzi said, did you know that hummingbirds will actually sit on your hand sometimes? They truly are attracted to red, like red shirts. Oh my gosh, that'd be freaky, right? You're sitting in there with the red shirt on and a hummingbird comes and sits on your hand. But that's very cool. That is very cool. Sarah said, mine dive bomb me when the feeder is low. Oh, wow. Trisha said, I wondered why the water looked pink. Yeah, it's a bacteria. It is a bacteria. Okay. Mitzi said it happened to her brother-in-law. That is very cool. All right, guys. So I think now I do have more I could add, but here's the thing. If I add down here, I think it's going to look really funny. I think this empty space right here, and then this is going to look a little odd. So I may leave it at that. What I was thinking, I think there may be two things more I might add that would kind of help pull it all together. And guess what that is? I always say, if it looks like something is missing, if you have some spaces and it looks like something is missing, what do we need? We need a word strip. We need word strips, okay? So I am going to put the butterfly away. We got to get that butterfly put away fast because if I don't do that, I will lose it because that's what happens. Got to put them away right away, or later I'll be like, where's the butterfly? And I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember I was using the butterfly on that one nature list, and then I lost it. And all right, word strip stickers. Let's get to those. I was pulling an order yesterday, and someone had ordered, I think, 3 of the 4 word strip stickers from Tim Holtz. So she did snarky and the regular, and then I think the clippings. So small talk. Where are we? Small talk. I think I need small talk. I don't need small talk snarky. I have 2 small talks. All right, let's look and see. Because one is definitely getting, both are getting used. So I'm thinking if I put word strip here and maybe word strip in here, that it will kind of help pull it all together, because this looks odd to me. That's just kind of this big blank space there. Now that's part of the artwork, right? That big blank space, but it kind of looks odd to me. And then that would also take care of this over here. So let's see. Fall in love with as many things as possible. That could work, right? That could totally, everything has beauty. That could work too. Let's look. Let's see. What if everything has beauty? That could maybe go there, right? Everything has beauty. And then I need something down here. Where was that? Fall in love with as many things as possible. That could work. Oh, well, here we go. This doesn't even make sense when I see the next one. Let's put this guy back. Fall in love with as many things as possible. This one, where did it go? always be on the lookout for the presence of wonder. Now, if that is not like perfect for this, things that stopped me in my tracks recently, then I don't know what is. Always be on the lookout for the presence of wonder. Now that's too long, right? It is too long. So we need to trim it. Always be on the lookout. I think if we trim it right here for the presence of wonder. Here we go. Always be on the lookout. That could go kind of right here. Let's see. Let me just trim that a little bit. Trim that little part off there, and we'll trim off that little part at the end. Always be on the lookout. No, it fits a little bit better for the presence of wonder. All right, so that filled that space in, and everything is beauty. That fills that space in, and it kind of now, I think, in my opinion, now it all just flows together much better, right? All just flows together much better. That was an interesting one, because as soon as I started pulling in the pink over here, I'm like, ooh, how the heck are we gonna make that work? How are we going to make that work? There's no pink over here, right? But look we made it work. We added a little bit of pink over here. We did the peeled paint over here, which kind of pulled that color from one side to the other. And then those little guys, those word strips, I tell you, I know, look, Terry, right there, we're gonna date it next. Those word strips, I'm telling you, they are sometimes, you're like, something's missing. When in doubt, something's missing, it's a word strip. That is the answer. Okay, so now to date it. Let's take a look. I think I had pulled out this little guy, this little date stamp. This is one of, I think, two or three roller date stamps I have on the website. This one is in, I'll say, non-American date format. I don't know if Canada does this. I don't know if Mexico does this. I know that Europe does this, where it is the 2-digit day, and then the month, and then the year. So let's go 2023. It is July. No, it's not. It's August. Hello, Lael. It is August 12th, 2023. So always test it, right? We always test first. Okay, we always test first. Oh, I need my black. We haven't used black today. Black stamping ink we haven't used. Oh, there it is. It's out. It is out. I already have it out. Okay, black stamping ink. Let's move this. We're done with the word strips, so we can put those away. And those were small talk. Those were the small talk word strips. Okay, now let's do this. Always test it, because you want to make sure you like the way it looks. I think I did that upside down, so you want to make sure it really says the right thing. 12 August 23. You want to make sure that in that case, those are a little bit separated. What if I push them all together? What happens? Let's look. Might be kind of wonky if I try to push all of them together. We can try. Okay. 12's a little low. All right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it there. Now, if that scares you, I'll get the pencil board out. If that scares you, a way to do it differently would be to stamp while it is still on the sticker sheet, right? So I could have stamped it while it was still wherever it was. Could have stamped while still on the sticker sheet. My heavens, like that. So then that way too, if I mess up, then I could just do it on another one. I have a little bit of a fail safe here. If I mess that one up, I could probably use another one too, but I think we'll be okay. All right, 12 August 23. And here's the other thing. If I didn't get quite the right date there, that's okay, because nobody knows, right? Nobody knows when I did this. 12 August 23. There we go. And that list is done. Date, month, year, you're in New Zealand. Right, okay, so Nancy, right. So I think it's just the non-American way. I think a lot of other countries do that that way, where it's date, month, year, but not here in the good old USA for whatever reason. We like to do things differently for whatever reason. Okay, there we go. So we're ready to roll. That one's done. We are now ready for our third list, but I am very quickly going to get the stuff put away that we've used in the last two lists from Trail Mix. So I'm just gonna pick this stuff up and get it out of the way. While I'm doing that, Let's talk about the giveaways again, because there are 3 really good giveaways today. It's been a while since we've been together. It's been 3 weeks. So I figured, well, let's do 3 instead of 2 and let's make them really good. I mean, the giveaways are always good, right? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. The giveaway is a giveaway. It's a good one, but these are really good. The first one is the 2023 Year in Review Project Kit, the Traveler's Notebook Project Kit. And that is everything that you need to do your full year in your Traveler's Notebook, along with the color step-by-step instructions and the class, right? And the class that goes with that. That is one prize. The second prize is all of the Sunkissed goodies that I have been working with. So I have, a few of the things are used. I might have used a couple of the papers and some of the die cuts and some of the stickers, but it's everything. So that's a lot. That's another good prize. And then the third one is the big bundle. The whole trail makes a big bundle. So it's everything in the collection. So the way that you participate in the giveaways, if you are not aware, you leave a comment on the video when it is over. Can't do it in the chat. Leave a comment on the video when it's over. And then you have until we are together again. That Saturday morning when we're together again, before we start, I will pick 3 random lucky winners to win those prizes. All right, so that is what we have. Okay, did I get it all put away? I think so. I think that's pretty much it for that. Okay, so now our third list. Our third list is a continuation of a list that we did when we were together 3 weeks ago. The list that we did together when we were together 3 weeks ago, one of the lists was used to hate, now I love. Okay, used to hate, now I love. Oh yeah, hang on, let's do that. Karen, I just realized that today is actually my 7-year anniversary at work. Working on retirement plans is my current status. Oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Well, hold on. Sandy said, at a friend's cabin, we watched an eagle circling 2 baby loons. The parent loons were calling out warnings. Babies dove underwater. We screamed and jumped like crazy women to scare the eagle away. Oh, Sandy, I love that story. That's fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. Terry said she can get the hummingbirds to perch on her fingers at the feeders all the time. My husband's had one on every fingertip. Holy cow. That is amazing. Terry, take a drink and a break. Take a drink break and go get headache meds before it gets too bad. Let's see if I can call to Nick. Let's see if I can get out. I know. Okay, quick break. Have a quick hydration break, and let's see if I can use the squirrel bell to summon my husband. Honey? Nick? No. Okay, hang on. All right, he must be outside or in the shower because he did not hear the squirrel bell. The squirrel bell, Deborah Crater said to me, which was so fun. At one of my lives, I had said that, oh, I really need a bell because then I could ring the bell and Nick would know I needed something. And that's what she sent me. Is that not the greatest thing ever? Yes, but he can't hear. He's in the shower or outside, so I had to run grab my prescription. Hang on. Okay, very good. Thank you, Terry. Terry's always very good about saying, well, stop what you're doing and get your medicine. Let's see, Creative Cindy. This is an interesting thing if you did not know this about me. Creative Cindy said, get up and stretch your legs. I stand. So anytime I am working, I am standing. So when we do our Saturdays, if you ever take a class with me, I stand. If you ever, well, I stand all the time. I stand when I'm working. I stand when I'm creating. I stand. So I'm already standing. You may not have known that about me. Oh, I know, that reminded me. Well, we'll talk about it because we're going to stamp again here. When I stamp, we'll talk about stamping and sitting and stamping versus standing and why it's really important that you stand, in my opinion, when you stamp. All right, so when we were together 3 weeks ago, one of our lists was things I used to hate and now I love, okay? And when I was thinking of that list topic, I started thinking, well, you know what? Really, we need to do the other side of that, things I still hate, right? Now, if hate is too strong of a word for you, you could say dislike, like, whatever you'd like to use instead, but I am going to say still hate. I said used to hate, now I love, and this will be still hate. Oh, Karen, I love it. Karen said, only a quarter of you have hit the like button. Just do it. Yes, hit the like button. If you're still here, hit the like button. It's super easy. Hit the thumbs up button, the like button. Okay, so the opposite of that, things I still hate. So this will be a really simple list. I am going to do my list on the insert, so I won't be doing any background paper or anything like that, like I just did on the last list. That definitely makes it go faster, but then that way it matches with the one next to it. Because the one next to it was a fairly quick one and it did not have any background paper on it. All right, so when I did this list, I used the I Heart This stamp set. So this is one of the Lail stamp sets. I Heart This. This was a collaboration between my friend Christine at Pop Daisy Art, all hand drawn. So she did all of that. And when we did this, I used the word love. So now I'm over here going, oh, well, I kind of like to stamp something here. And I'd like to say still hate, used to hate, now I love. This will say still hate. But I don't have anything that says still hate. But guess what? I really do. There it is, still hate. Because that's the Willie Alpha. So that is also hand drawn by Christine. So I'm going to use Willie Alpha to stamp still hate. You guys want to see a sneak peek at a little something that's coming later this month? I just got my samples while I was gone. I'm going to show you. This is one of the requests I received from quite a few of you after you bought this stamp set. You bought this stamp set and said, this is really great. I love that I can stamp an outline and color it in or do whatever I want to do. But would be really nice if I had something like this to pair with it. So I could stamp solid by itself. I could stamp outline by itself, or I could stamp the outline and then stamp the solid. So that is one of the new stamp sets that you'll see coming later this month. Not on the website yet, just samples. I haven't even tested the samples yet to make sure everything looks good, but I'm very excited for that. And I will give you another little hint. There are some other stamps that are part of my collaboration with my friend Christine. I don't know, like maybe that, and maybe this one. So I showed you the outline and the solid version, so that might give you a little idea of what you may see coming with these two as well. Okay, those are the outlines, so you might see what? The solid versions. Well, not might, you will. They're across the room too. Okay, so I will use Willie Alpha for still hate. As I do this, I need to think about this. If I want still hate to be all one line or two lines, still hate. Peas and pearled onions. Terry, peas is on my list. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, Belinda. Good afternoon, good people. All right, still hate. So what might be kind of fun, this is mixed case, right? I have lowercase and I have uppercase. So what could be fun is if I did like this, S, T. Might be fun to do that, right? Is that an I? Yes. Oh, no, that's not an I. That could be an I or it could be an exclamation point. S-T-I. have to figure this out. STI. We could do this. We could do 2 uppercase L's still. And then hate. I know, anytime I say hate, it sounds like such a strong word, but in this case, it is very fitting because these are things that I definitely still hate. I very strongly dislike. Very strongly. All right, let's look at that. Still hate. Now, I think what I would like to do, those are kind of all the same size. So what if we take this H and a little a instead? And then I probably need the uppercase T. There, that's what we'll do. Still hate. All right, so I just wanted to lay that out for a sec. And then I have room. I will have room to do all in one line. So that is what I'm going to do. And to give myself a little reference point, so when I start stamping, I know where I want to stamp. I am going to go right here because I did 2 double lines there. I'll do 2 double lines here. Oh, but I don't really know how long it needs to be. So I will just do this. I'll use my pencil. So just so I have this little point of reference right there. So I know that's kind of where I'm starting. All right. Karen loves peas. Sorry, Karen, we can no longer be friends. I'm sorry. Pat, I love it. Pat said she's going to put these lists in my This Is Me Traveler's Notebook. Yes, absolutely, because this is totally you, right? Rosemary said, love the new stamp set. Can't wait. I love it. I want the lower I with uppercase too. The lower L with uppercase. Oh, so you want to do uppercase, lowercase, right? LL like this, right? We could totally do that. Let's look. LL, because you have uppercase and lowercase of everything. Like that. Still? Still? Right? Still? Still hate. That totally works. Let's do it. Let's do it. Now, I'm going to do something very odd here. This may seem very odd. I am not going to line all of those. You're like, Lael, why didn't you just line them all on the stamping block? Why did you line them up there? Because I am not going to stamp them all at once. And that may seem silly. It may seem like it takes forever and a day to then stamp each of these individually. But there's a reason I'm doing that. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to control how close together the letters are. I want to control how close together the letters are. In some cases, like on that T, this T has the polymer. It has that rubber, okay, the polymer, around. It's like a buffer right there, and it has it there so that it's really easy to stamp the T. If it doesn't have that extra rubber around it, then the top part of the T doesn't have any stability and it could be crooked. So that's why you have that there. There is a reason why you see that extra material around some stamps. Problem is, if I want to put my I right in there with it, I can't get as close as I want because that extra little material is in the way. So I will stamp them separately. That is why. And I am grabbing 2 different size. Yeah, I need 2 different size. I'm grabbing 2 different size little stamping blocks here. I have this little guy, which is part of a 2-piece set. Those I have on the website, that 2-piece set. And then I grabbed this other circle one. I don't have that one, but that's just a good one for me to use because that's the one I'd like to use. So I think if I start about there, let's see. Oh yes, I also want to have my little tester notebook handy because I should always, always, always test those because like everything else, always test first. Always, always, always test first, okay? That's the mantra. That should be the mantra. All right, so we'll just put this right next to me so it's here and it's easy. We'll put this kind of right there. All right, there's my S. Okay, there we go. That is good. Let's do my S. I think about there should be good. Now you notice I didn't put a pencil board underneath that. I did not put a pencil board underneath that because it's totally flat. Guess what? It is flat here, but I have this to contend with. So even if I put a pencil board underneath there, it's not going to help me because this is on the page, right? What I can do though is pull that card out. That card would be in the way of my stamping here. So I pulled the card out. Sometimes if you've already worked on the next page, there's not a lot you can do about it, right? Not a lot that you can do about it. So tell me, friends, even if you're not listing with me today, what would be on your list? What would be on your list? Terry said, Pat, I totally love the idea of a This Is Me themed traveler's notebook. Yes, Terry, it was one of my project kits earlier this year. The This Is Me traveler's notebook. And it is, it's all about you, right? Isn't it fun to say it's all about me? Yes, it is all about me. Because, you know, people say, it's not all about you. Well, yes, in that case, it is all about me because you're documenting you. All about you. All right. I keep moving things around. I'm not sure why. ST. Yes, but see how I can get them really close together if I want? I can get those really close together. I need like a workspace that's like 10 times as big, although it wouldn't really help here. ST. Will my little eye fit on here? Yep. I haven't cleaned that one off yet because I need to use it again. STI. Oh, I don't need the I again. Let's see. Karen said, a little butter and salt and peas are amazing. I am so not a picky eater for sure. Only things I don't like that I'm aware of are olives, Brussels sprouts, and asparagus. Oh no, you're missing out. All three of those are amazing, Karen. All three are amazing. Terry said, I am right there with you about asparagus. Karen and I used to feel that way about Brussels sprouts, but I have had them grilled and they weren't bad. Here's the thing. If you don't like Brussels sprouts, it's all in the preparation. If you don't like them, it may be because someone in your life in the past boiled the heck out of them. And so they were like a boiled, yucky mess. Roasted Brussels sprouts, amazing. Grilled Brussels sprouts, amazing. Whoops. Guess what? I forgot to test that last one. I don't know. I think, okay, I'm not sure. We might need to do 2 L's. I'm just not sure here. Because I'm not sure if I'm going to like the way that looks together. Or if we did 2 L's, it would kind of be like that. I think I'm going to do 2 uppercase L's. Still, okay, and then hate. Still hate. Brenda said, I enjoy Brussels sprouts and asparagus so good if paired correctly. That's the thing, like with most things, right? If prepared correctly, amazing. Oh, Nancy, Brussels sprouts roasted with bacon and balsamic glaze. Oh, so good, balsamic glaze. One of my favorite things. I love balsamic glaze. Okay, still hate. Still hate. I'll get to my list in a minute. You'll know in a minute exactly what I still hate. Okay. Oh, okay. Nobody panic. Did you see what happened? Look what happened. No, oh, looks like I'm flipping it off, sorry. Nobody panic, because there's an easy way to fix that, and I will show you how in a minute. I will show you how in a minute. Sorry you guys all keep seeing my, my like head when I go to stamp. Oh, Terry, not at all. Terry said, oh, right, sorry, I'm an idiot. That kit was even on my wish list. Sorry, I'm off all my supplements. It's really affecting my mental health. Terry, not at all. Like, seriously, not at all. That was funny. That was funny when you said that. You're like, that's a great idea. Still hate. Okay. H-A-T. Oh, I put the T. No, I didn't. Okay, here we go. Migraine's affected. Migraine, because that's what's coming. Gets me sometimes a little bit off my game. A little bit off my game. Pat, asparagus straight from the garden to the kitchen to cook are the best. I've never had, as far as I know, asparagus straight from the garden to kitchen. Farm to table, right? I've never had that. I'm sure that's amazing. Anything farm to table is really good, right? Because so fresh and yummy, right? So fresh and yummy. Okay, here we go. H-A. And then we have our uppercase T. Still hate. Still hate. And then guess what? This doesn't necessarily have to be food, right? This does not have to necessarily be food. It could be, maybe you hate reading. I hope not. We can't be friends if you hate reading. But maybe if you hate science fiction. Is that on my list? Because I really don't like it. I mean, it's just not my thing. I guess I don't hate it, but not really my thing. Okay, there we go. And then our little E. Then our little E. Okay. Ooh, back in its thing. Don't want to put that on the table. All right, just about done with the title, friends. Did I test first? I'm not sure which one that was a question to. Maybe the H? I did, but I was not paying close enough attention to the pressure. I was not paying close enough attention to what I was doing. That's why I did that. But one of the things I did say, friends, that I would talk about, standing and stamping versus sitting and stamping. In my opinion, okay, all my opinion, I think it is much better to stand and stamp than it is to sit and stamp. When you sit down, just if you're standing, sit down for a minute and put your arms at your side at a right angle, right? Like that, at a right angle. You've like little T-Rex hands, okay? Your little T-Rex arms. You only have so much leverage or movement because you're sitting, right? They really can't go far. When you stand, you have lots more leverage now because you're up higher than your work surface. So I always stand when I'm stamping because you get much better leverage. Try it. If you normally don't stand when you stamp, just give it a try. You'll notice a big difference. All right, the way I'm going to fix that, I am taking my black Sharpie. And all I'm going to do here is finish the stamp, okay? I just finished it. So if I feel like I need to make it a little bit thicker, I can make it a little bit thicker by going over that line again. See, everybody was panicked and you thought, oh no, Lael, you ruined it. I didn't. I just took my little black Sharpie and fixed it. So that was easy peasy to fix that. All right, now I need my little eraser because I have my little pencil mark there. Little pencil mark. Okay, there we go. And now I need my ruler. Now I know where I can do my little kind of double line here. So it looks similar to, actually, I think what I'll do is this. So it looks similar to what I did on the other one. Still hate. And what I still hate. Okay? So, hate, oh no. So, I just noticed at the bottom of my page here, I have some black smudges. So, somewhere in there, when I was stamping, I got some black ink on my hands, and then it transferred to the paper. So, be careful when you're stamping, okay? You want to make sure that usually before you stamp, when you're done stamping, in between stamps, do a quick hand check and make sure you do not have black ink on your hands or any colored ink on your hands because it will transfer. Now that's okay, I'm not worried about it because I will put washi over the top of it or something, so we won't even see it. Okay, still hate. And if I wanted to, I could write things I above it. Used to hate, now I love, and then I could just write right here. Things I still hate. All right, now eventually I need to color that in because I colored that one in, but I'll wait a bit on that. What I grabbed to do this list, because it kind of needs to coordinate with this other list, I grabbed a few pieces from Sunkissed. So I thought this little gal was kind of fun. We might put her there. She kind of looks like me. I mean, not really, but she could be me at one point, right? So we could put that there. So just it still will all go together, but it'll just kind of mix things up a little bit. It coordinates. I also grabbed the little daisies die cuts. So I thought I could use those intermittently, just like I did the hearts. Ooh, let's put this away. Use those intermittently. Now, even though this is hate, I don't have to have like skull and crossbones or something, right? I don't have to put those on there. Just because these are things that I strongly dislike doesn't mean that the product that I use has to reflect that. All right, so I pulled out a few little daisies that I thought we could work in, like we did the hearts. Like just a few little guys here, right? We'll just kind of do a few little in here. This will be the last that I will use Sunkissed, because, as I mentioned, someone is going to win all of the rest of the fun Sunkissed goodies that I have been working from the last summer, last amount of time that I've been playing with it. Oh, look it. That could go there, right? That would totally fill up that space. We have this little guy. This little guy could maybe go in there. Yeah, let's put him in there. That's a little dragonfly. Had to think about that for a minute. Little dragonfly. But speaking of Pretty Little Studio, because Pretty Little Studio is who does this collection, who did it, Sunkissed. There is a brand new collection from Pretty Little Studio on the website called Hello Summer. It is so fun. It is so fun. And so you'll see me use that in the next couple of weeks. That one is a one and done, meaning I won't, once it sells out, I won't bring the pieces in again because it came out a little bit late, a little bit more towards the end of summer. So, I was thinking I could use one of these guys. Let's see. These are the scallop die cuts. So we could do some little scallop die cuts kind of at the bottom, like a little scallop die cut here. Maybe with that cute little gal right there, right? So it coordinates. It doesn't exactly match, but the two still kind of go together. So that's what we're going to do. Add a little bit of stuff on here. Oopsie, like that. Put that there, and I will still cover up. There's a little bit of smudge still. I'll cover that up in a sec. Let's see. Karen said, I love the skull and crossbones things. Yeah, you could totally do that for sure. You could. I don't have any skull and crossbones things. So we just use different embellishments that still work, different shapes. There's that cute little gal right there. Ooh. Yeah, what have I done? Somehow I have got stuff all over me. I have things all over me. All right, do we get clean again? Yeah, it must, it's on something. Oh, no, I don't know. It's on something. I don't know where it is. All right, that won't go there. These will just need to be. Have you ever tried to make things random and then it just looks really weird? Oh, the reason that's not working, there's only 4 pieces. I need 5. There is something that says, when working with numbers like that, that odd is much more visually pleasing than even. So that's why, theoretically, that it looked odd, different, because I didn't have enough little pieces there. So we'll just end up, maybe that will go there. That could go there. And then we just need to work in a few more pieces, maybe like that. Okay. Now I need just one more little thing here. So I have these contrasting little guys, these contrasting strips, smaller. That could go there like that. Sure, let's do it. Let's do it. So not using washi on this one. I used washi on the last one, but we'll use these little scalloped strips, scalloped die cuts here. And it also helped to cover up my little boo-boos, right? Whoopsie. Helped to cover up my little smudges. We won't see those. Can I get that lifted up? Put that under. There we go. Okay. There we are. We better put these down now too, because if I don't put those down, they'll move around and then they won't seem like they're random anymore. Then they won't seem like they're random. I don't know. Random is hard. Random is difficult. There we go. That one comes a little bit more there, and that one comes a little bit more there. There we go, that looks random. Yo Mama Dog, Yo Mama Dog 365. Oh my gosh, I love it. I have always heard to work with odd numbers, yes. Odd, threes, fives, definitely. Even when you're looking at, like, if you have art, let's say you have some art that you're putting on the wall, they say that 3, 5 better than 2, 4. Let's see, Lisa said the little girl flowers are so cute. Little girl with the flowers, yes. This is Sunkissed. This is Sunkissed from Pretty Little Studio, is what I'm working with right now. And assuming that you are asking while I am here, because sometimes people are watching behind me. So it's something I've already done. So the first collection, and actually the first and the second collections I used were Trail Mix. And this one is Sunkissed from Pretty Little Studio. And that's one of the giveaways. That is this giant bag of Sunkissed, okay? Open, because I've been using some of it, but all these pieces now I am done with, and they will go, ooh, except for maybe this guy. All these pieces I'm done with, and they will now go back in. Oh yeah, I don't want to put that there, but it's cute. It sure is cute. Maybe this little guy will go down here or something. All right, let's see, I've missed lots of things, I think. Let's see. Oh, we're talking Poison again. We're talking Poison. Karen and her Poison. Poison the band. Karen loves it. Yes, it is a beautiful collection. Loving the wish list on your website. Oh, Tabitha, yes. I don't think I've talked about this on our Saturday sessions yet, you guys. There is now wish list functionality on my website. So you can start a wish list. And it will keep it for you. So you can, things that you want and you're not ready to buy yet, you can do a wish list. And what's really cool is that you can even send it to someone else. So you can get a link and it will send that wish list to someone else. So if you have people in your life that are like, oh my gosh, you're so hard to shop for. What do you want for your birthday or Mother's Day or Flag Day or Christmas, holidays, whatever it is. Then you say, oh, well, let me tell you, let me send you a link. And then there you go. All right, I do like this little guy down here. I'm going to put that little one down there. Did I have fun at my retreat? Oh my goodness, yes, the 3 Craft Chicks retreat, Yo Mama Dog 365. It's so much fun. Yeah, it was great. It was so much fun. Awesome classes. Vicki was there, Vicki Booten was there. Lauren Seals owns 3 Craft Chicks with her mom, Michelle Kraft. She taught classes and make and takes, and oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Let's see. Dandy Creates is teaching us something. Odd numbers for Italian brides. I must contain 5 almonds representing each of the couple's wishes. Love, health, happiness, fertility, and long life together. Love it. 3579. You guys remember the store years ago, 3579? And they had clothing that was size 3579. Fun. Monique said, yes, I love that wish list and mine is full already and my last order was from it. I just need to make sure it's clear. Just because it's on your wish list doesn't mean it can't sell out. So you're not like reserving it, just so you know. If yes, just be aware of that. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do here, those outline numbers, because technically I don't have the fill-in stamps yet. These would be the negatives. I don't have the positives, right? I showed you them, but I'm not going to use them. That I haven't even tested them yet. So I am going to color in. I will color in those letters just like I colored in the love. Actually, let me start my list. Let me grab, I will use the same pen I used last time, and that was the black dot marker. So dot marker is very cool. Dot marker has a dot round domed shape little nib. And with a dot marker, you can create, did I do that? I did, I used that last time. Your little dots. The size of your dot varies based on the pressure that you apply. So a little bit of pressure, a lot of pressure. Little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit, more. So very easy to make my little bullet circles with that. This is a black one. I have the black one on the website. So it's called a dot marker. I also have a set of dot markers that I think is 5 or 6 colors in it, but this is what I will use. It's kind of like using a bullet stamp, but much easier because it's quicker. I just do that. So things I still hate. I will come back and color that in a moment. Things that are on my things I still hate list. In no particular order. Hot tea. Hot tea. Hot tea. AKA dirty water. Now, nothing against you if you like hot tea. This is my things I still hate list, right? Not yours. So these are things I still hate. If you love hot tea, that's good. I do not like it. I like iced tea, but I do not like hot tea. I know, I'm sorry. Lisa's like, wah, wah. Sorry, I do not like hot tea. Small, flat, round stamp block. Terry, I missed it. My service cut out because we were on the dirt road to the cabin. Did Lael answer my question about the small, flat, round stamp block? Not yet. I am sourcing these right now. So that small, flat, round stamp block, I don't have them yet, Terry. Right now, I just have those two little guys for your smaller little stamps. So that one, sourcing. So stay tuned. Karen said hot tea is amazing, and I plan to change Lael's attitude on that. Well, good luck to you, Karen. Lisa, unsweet. Unsweet, unsweet, unsweet. If you are from the South and you did not know, sweet tea is not everywhere. Pretty much the entire western part of the United States, when you order iced tea, it is unsweetened. You do not need to ask if it's sweet or unsweet. Pretty much the western part of the United States. I'm going to say Colorado west. It is unsweetened tea. But I always ask because if you ever go east and south, and you ask for iced tea, it is like a glass of sugar with a little brown food coloring. In my opinion, right? Just my opinion. Tammy said Brussels and balsamic glaze is one of her faves. Yes, I think she's watching a little bit in the past. Kathy said, OMG, now I've started a wish list. It is going to be like a grocery list. Always need something. I know, Kathy, right? So true. Okay. Oh gosh, what are these called? Well, they're sprouts. They're sprouts, okay? Not Brussels sprouts, but they're sprouts. Sprouts. Like sprouts that you'd have on a sandwich. Like not bean sprouts, but like the sprouts. I don't even know. That tastes like dirty grass to me. Sprouts, dirty grass. So no sprouts either. Another one, liver. Ugh. No liver here. Do not like the liver. Peas. Yes, peas. Peas. No how. No way ever. Now, when I say peas, I mean like canned peas, frozen peas. Sugar snap peas, I like them. Okay, I like them when they're raw. But anything that's like that green pea color, you know what I mean? Like the split pea, yucky pea color. Oh, I've always, since I was a little girl, hated the peas. Now, when Jack and Sam were little, our boys, when they were little, we generally don't eat any vegetables out of a can. Nothing wrong with that, but just not, I like kind of a lot of raw vegetables, so raw vegetables don't come in a can. When Jack and Sam were little, I would have cans of corn, cans of peas, because sometimes your kids, when they're little, will not eat something raw. Okay, so peas, Jack and Sam, I don't even know how they came from me, because Jack and Sam love canned peas. Still, they love canned cold peas, and they like to drink the canned pea juice. They like to drink the canned pea juice. Now, if you want to see me turn all shades of green, I talk about any of those things, and yeah. So peas, no how, no way, ever. Ever, never. Let's see. Karen, canned peas are the best. Too funny. Now we're talking about tea and peas. What did you do today? Oh, I watched a video where a lady talked about tea and canned peas the whole time. Okay, peas, no way, no how, ever. Beets. Beets is another one. Beets. I do not like beets. Not going to convince me. I do not like the beets. Another one. Rap music. Not my thing. If it's your thing, that's okay. Rap music, not my thing. I mean, like the really like raunchy rap music. I think that's what they call it, rap music, but not my thing. Nothing against it, just not my thing. Okay, this isn't really like a hate. It's just a not my preference. Dark chocolate. Okay, not a hate, but not my preference. If I'm going to eat chocolate, it's going to be milk. I like milk chocolate. Otherwise, if it's dark, I won't eat it. Actually, it was on my list. It's right here. I said earlier, science fiction. Science fiction, also not my thing. Now, hate's a kind of a strong word there, right? Science fiction. Never have watched an episode of Star Trek. Do not care for science fiction books, science fiction movies, science fiction anything. Not my thing. Carmen, unless it's Sugar Hill Gang. Yes, I don't even call that rap. Rapper's Delight. Although it says Rapper's Delight, yes. They're, in my mind, they're not rap. I like Rapper's Delight. I don't know if I like Rapper's Delight. No, I do like Rapper's Delight. I don't know if I like Sugar Hill Gang, because I don't know any more of their music except for Rapper's Delight. And I can sing that whole song. Some of you have seen me do that with a saucepan on my head. That's a whole story for a whole other day. Science fiction. Oh, here's another one. Again, nothing against you if you like this. This is just me documenting stuff about me. Well done meat. Well done meat. In my head, I'm like, I don't get why you'd eat it. It's just not my thing. Well done meat. I like a nice medium rare. So well done meat, not my thing. Tofu. Tofu, yuck. Can't stand the texture. Some of you say, oh my gosh, but if you cook it like chicken, and I'm like, yeah, no. Or if you cook it with these spices, yeah, no. I don't like it. No tofu. No tofu. Ooh, another one. Anchovies. Anchovies. Actually, I don't really have room for anchovies there, so let's do this. We'll put this next. Baked beans. Baked beans. If we're going to like a barbecue or a cookout or something, and you're eating the baked beans, I steer clear of them. Baked beans, not my thing. Now we can say anchovies because it will fit. Anchovies. Oh, I'm sorry. This is going to probably make some of you, somebody said, I just saw it a minute ago, threw up a little bit in her mouth. I know, right? Anchovies, like the little hairs on them. Blah. No. Goat's milk. Now, what's interesting, I really like goat cheese. Goat's milk, no, not for me. Not for me, no goat's milk. There's a fruit called papaya, which in my head equals dirty feet. Papaya to me tastes like dirty feet. Papaya, AKA dirty feet. Look at dirty feet, dirty water, I don't know. And I've had what should be good fresh papaya, but I don't like papaya, not my thing. Also, raisins. Raisins. And I know you say, Lael, do you like grapes? And I say, yes, I love grapes. And you say, well, you know, raisins are just dried grapes. And I say, I know, but I don't like raisins. So, no raisins for me. Mitzi, goat cheese tastes like goat smell. That's a good one. I love it. Hairs on anchovies. Yeah, I feel like you can see like the little hairs on the anchovies. I don't know. Maybe I've been looking too close at anchovies. Dandy said, best Lael live ever, the wrap and pot on your head. Yeah, you can't go back and watch that one. That one I did at one of the Crop and Create virtual events. That was funny. Yeah, that was funny. Lael is a picky eater, it sounds like. You know what? I'm really not at all. I am not a picky eater at all. I'm just telling you what I don't like. Sarah said, as Alton Brown always says, raisins are always optional. Yes, always optional. Brenda, anchovies aren't good on pizza? Nope. If we were having pizza together, you'd be in luck because you'd have all the anchovies and I would have none. You would be happy. I would be happy too because I wouldn't be eating them. Lima beans. Lima beans. Probably because the only way I've ever had lima beans was as a kid. And they were either, oopsie, I've got stuff on me again, either like frozen from a bag. I don't even know if they made them in a can. They were like frozen from a bag. You know the little mixture of peas and carrots and corn and lima beans? Ooh, no lima beans. Nah, Prunes. Yep, I like plums, not prunes. Must be something about the dried variety of those things, right? Karen said, I am not a fan of ketchup on hamburger, but it's definitely needed on meatloaf. Yeah, that is kind of funny because it's all the same, right? Hamburger. Yo Mama does not like cantaloupe. Oh, love cantaloupe. Mary Lee said, you're cracking me up with your descriptions. Dirty feet papayas. It's delicious with condensed milk. Nope. Karen says, I don't like Coca-Cola or Pepsi. Okay. All right. Totally agree. JRU Moles Jana said, totally agree on liver, beets, dark chocolate, tofu, and lima beans. Yuck. Yes. Yuck. All right. What else do we have on our list? Oh, I put beets on there twice. Oh, I also had prunes on my list. Prunes. And you know what? When you were a little kid and you were having trouble going to the bathroom, your mom would try to make you eat prunes, and yucky. Maybe along the same lines as the anchovies, sardines. Do not like sardines. So far all of this is related to food, right? It will change in a minute. And this one is a truly hate thing, like truly hate. Chicken on the bone. No how, no way. And then what comes after that would be that also means wings. Okay? Don't eat chicken wings. Chicken on the bone and I are not friends. Do not like chicken on the bone, so I do not like wings. Green curry. Green curry to me tastes like a cat litter box. I know that's a little odd, but that's what green curry tastes like to me, a cat litter box. Not that I've ever tasted a cat litter box, but tastes like cat litter box. Cooking. Now, I don't really hate cooking, I just don't cook. I really don't, and I really don't enjoy it. And if I ever try to cook, it's sometimes a disaster. So, the one thing that I have on my list that is not, I guess, food related, no, rap music, science fiction. So there are a few. This one I truly, truly hate. And this is one I feel 100% okay of using the word hate. Toxic, mean, or rude people. There is no place for that in our world. So if you are toxic, if you are mean, or if you are rude, then we probably wouldn't be friends in real life because those things make me very upset and angry because there's just no room for that. There's no room for that in our little world. Okay, friends, last thing I need to do. I need to fill in the still hate. So when the new stamps are available, the Willy Alpha Solid, then you could just go ahead and stamp all those with your the solid letters. Those will be available at the end of this month. But in the meantime, I am going to color that in. Now, what do you suppose I colored that in with? Who knows what color I colored that? Maybe it was this one. I pulled out some colored pencils. Let's look. Okay. Let's look. If I was smart, I would have written that down. I'd say that's it. So here we go. Let's talk about this. I waited a really long time. Yes, I will totally date it, friends. Thank you for the reminder. I waited a really long time, much longer than I needed to, before I colored these in. Depending on the type of ink that you are stamping with. I was stamping with this guy, the VersaFine Clair by Sukaniko. This is the only black ink you ever see me use. This is hands down, I think, the best black ink. It is a pigment-based ink. One of the things about pigment-based ink, so pigment-based, oxides also pigment-based, they take a second to dry. So what I would not want to do here, I would not want to stamp that title and then right away come in and color it in. Whether with a marker or whether with a colored pencil, I wouldn't want to come back and color it in right away because it's still going to be wet. I don't want to start putting color in there, because when I put color in there, it would pull some of the black into the color because it was still wet. So now I've waited a long time just because I got, going on my list. So you don't need to wait that long, but definitely in that case, I would stamp the whole title and then come back after I had finished the E. I should be fine to start the S, but just want to give it a little bit of time. Because you don't, like I said, you don't want to pull that black ink into your color, right? And if it's still wet, it would pull that black ink into your color. It just takes a little minute to dry. And I'm just using my little colored pencils to color in those letters. And then my list will be done. That will be our third list for the day. What time is it? Oh, 1:43. Woo! Well, I don't know. We never know anymore how long we're going to be together on a Saturday. The About Last Month, when we do that one usually always takes a little bit longer. Probably takes a good hour and a half when we do it together, because I'm talking about the printer and I'm explaining the whole concept. And then I'm adding I put the photos on. We talk about the printer a little bit more. I do my list. Anyhow, that one always takes a little bit longer. So there we go. Now, if I wanted, I could come in with my same colored pencil, and I think I'll do this on both. So I will do it on this side so you can see the difference it makes. But look at, so my double lines, see how I just did a little bit darker to fill that in? I feel like I've got black all over me still. That's what it looks like without it colored in, and that's what it looks like with colored in. So I think it just fun, kind of adds a little bit more color. So I will do that on this side as well. And there we go. 7/22/23. So this one now would be 8/12/23. Where'd it go? Here it is. Let's see where we want to do that. We'll just do it right here. 8/12/23. Alrighty, there we go. Last week, used to hate, now I love. This week, things I still hate. Okay? That was our last list. If you joined us late, this was the first list about last month for July. And our second list was things that stopped me in my tracks recently that pertain to nature. All right? Okay, friends, I am going to, sorry, totally lost you there in my brain for a second. Headache. All right, so I'm going to turn off the lights. Or redirect them. And rotate the camera. And then we'll be ready to say our goodbyes until we're together again. And I'm saying until we're together again instead of next week. When I sent the email out on Thursday, the plan, was for us to be together next week, but I don't think we're going to be. Because I think that Nick and I might take off in Harvey. So that's our RV that we might do that next weekend. So I will post in the Facebook group and on the Lail by Mail Facebook page. We should know probably by tomorrow. So if we're not going to be together next Saturday, the 19th, then I'll post so you know. But then also, if you don't know, then you come here next Saturday and I'm not here, and then you'll be like, okay, I guess we're not doing it. Okay, let's see. Oh, Debbie said, I'm with you there. Don't speak to my brother because he's so toxic. And you know what? Here's permission. If there are toxic people in your life, you don't need it, right? You don't need it. Get away from them, right? Get away from them. Or if you can't completely get away, spend as little time with them as you can, because life's hard enough as it is to have toxic people, mean, rude, toxic people, hanging around us, okay? Oh, there we go. Karen said she realized that this summer had to disassociate herself from someone else for her own happiness. Yeah, sometimes you have to fire your friends, right? Sometimes you have to sometimes don't even say it. You just kind of start to pull back, and then it's okay. It is okay. Karen said, oh no, it's ending. We need another all-dayer so that this doesn't happen. I know. It's probably going to be a while before we do an all-dayer, Karen, because I am headed into September, October, November. Are huge months for me. Those are a lot of travel teaching. So we probably won't see any of those in there, but maybe we'll do one in December. We'll see. Pam said, Lael, thank you so much for a great day. Enjoyed every moment. You guys don't forget. Oh, yes. Pamela, there is What's New Wednesday this week for sure. Oh, there's so much. I've got to figure out how to break it up. I can't even do it all in one Wednesday. All 4 of the new Simple Stories holiday collections are here. The Pretty Little Studio Hey Summer collection is here. And then some little smaller items. So I will be covering some of those things this Wednesday and then some next Wednesday. Because it's just too much to do all at once. Sarah said, toxic people don't deserve your energy, 100%. Guys, remember the giveaways, big giveaways. The 2023 Year in Review Project Kit and Class. The all the extras, all the leftovers. I don't want to say leftovers. It's like you went to a restaurant and took maybe 2 bites of your meal and you're bringing home the leftovers because it's basically the whole meal. That is all of the Sunkist stuff that I have not used. And then the big one is the Trail Mix Big Bundle. So that is everything in Trail Mix, all in one nice bundled package. All of those things you will see on my website at laelbymail.com. In the description box of the video, you will see the link that says what I'm using, and that will take you there. You should be able to see everything. Sarah said, this was such a hilarious listing session. I'm going to be laughing over those dislike descriptions for all day. We got to have fun, right? We have to have fun with it. Marilee, happy early birthday. Your hubby's birthday is August 19th. Mine is the 20th. So happy early birthday to your husband. Yeah, so I think that we might head off for the weekend. We'll see. Carmen said, I'm so glad I made it today. I've been missing it all, being gone. Yay, missed all you guys. Brenda said, I hope you feel better. Thank you. The headache will go away. Just got to deal with it. Mrs. Allen, I'm cracking up about the taste of the cat litter box. Yeah, green curry. Maybe I just haven't had the right kind of green curry, right? Kathy said, Lael, you should go away for your birthday. We share the same day. Happy birthday, Kathy. I love that. Al Roker, did you know that? Al Roker also has our birthday. Oh, Debbie, amen to that. Blood doesn't make it okay to spill your hate. Ooh, that is a good one. That is a great one. You guys, thank you for all the birthday wishes. That's very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, friends, I'm going to take off. I'll for sure be here this coming Wednesday. That would be Wednesday the 16th, right? Wednesday the 16th for What's New Wednesday. Most likely not the 19th. I think we're going to just head out. But then I think we're back again together here on the 26th. So if I do not see you on a Saturday, or I don't see you on a What's New Wednesday, or I don't see you in any of the travel teaching things I am doing for the next 3 months, hopefully I will see you either in person soon or sometime around on the interwebs. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.